Boy, happy Memorial Day weekend, one and all. It is time to salute the troops on Fox Sports Arizona, brought to you by Fry's, our good friends and partners with Sanderson Ford. The upstart Florida Marlins have come to town, having another fine season. They are going toe-to-toe with the first-place Arizona Diamondbacks. That's right. One of the greatest jumps in baseball history in the month of May. From worst to first, they started this month 6 1/2 games out. Hi there, folks. Happy Memorial Day. Welcome back to the ballpark. This is Mark Grace. My name is Darren Sutton. It is our pleasure today to talk baseball with you and have the freedom to do so. And with that in mind, Gracie, we are honored. The folks with the Arizona National Guard, their family members that have sacrificed so much, they will spend the day with us. They will spend the day with our viewers watching baseball.
Well, unfortunately for you and I, Darren, words just can't describe how honored we are to be saluting our troops, the very brave men and women that really give us the freedoms to do the things that we're doing right now. So thank you very much, folks, and enjoy this ball game.
We will also be seen worldwide on the American Forces Network. Again, that is our thrill to be a part of this telecast. When you look at the Diamondbacks again, worst to first in a single month within the standings, almost hard to describe. You can see where they were on May the 13th. Then they went on the 16-game roll in which they've gone 14-2.
And I have to admit, Darren, I didn't see it coming, but you know what? They are playing great baseball. They are getting terrific pitching, and their back of their bullpen is awfully good. The 8th inning, David Hernandez has been fabulous, and J.J. Putz continues to be perfect as we move into June.
You can see the Giants already victorious today. That's why there's a deadlock right now heading into this afternoon's ball game against the Florida Marlins. Again, it is our honor, it is our pleasure, and we trust you're having a great weekend with family, friends, and loved ones.
Hi, this is Specialist Jaramillo from the Arizona Army National Guard stationed in Afghanistan. Just want to say hi to my friends and family back home. And to my wife, I miss you, I love you, and I'll be home soon. Go Diamondbacks!
with our national anthem to be sung today by Staff Sergeant Markia Giles.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
From Luke Air Force Base.
At any Gila River casino, and you could win up to $20,000 instantly. Jack in the Box. Right now, it's the new bourbon barbecue steak grilled sandwich at participating restaurants. Southwest Airlines new rapid rewards. Unlimited reward seats. No blackout dates. Boy, what a road trip it was. It's so good to be back home. Arizona getting their teeth knocked in the first game of a doubleheader in Denver, Colorado, then reeling off 6 consecutive victories. Let's take a look at the Florida Marlins. A great team on the road and how they line up. This is going to be a tall challenge for Arizona. Brought to you by Pepsi Max. Former Diamondback Emilio Bonifacio. Omar Infante is short up the defense. It's Logan Morrison, Gabby Sanchez, the talented Mike Stanton. Greg Dobbs having an amazing year. John Buck, Chris Coughlin, and Chris Volstead. Back home, Joe Saunders ready to roll. The 29-year-old left-hander against the former Diamondback. Strike one, and we are underway on this Memorial Day, making his 11th start of the year as Joe. An ERA down below 5. Simply put, his last 5 starts, he's been much better. And was really on the attack in Game 2 of the doubleheader in Denver, Colorado.
And did a great job of saving his bullpen after a, as you said already, a rough first game of that doubleheader.
Line drive, base hit into right center field. A changeup. That's a pretty piece of hitting by Emilio Bonifacio. Let's take a look defensively at how The Diamondbacks stack up. Brought to you by David Robleski and Associates. Parra, Young, Upton, outfield. Infield today, it's Melvin Mora at third base with Juan Miranda at first, and Miguel Montero is behind the plate. Omar Infante came over this winter, and the thinking was that Omar, in coming over in that big deal, would help to shore up the defense, and he has. He's done a really fine job defensively as Omar fouls that back behind home plate.
He does a great job of doing the things a good number 2 hitter does. He'll take some pitches for Bonifacio, one of the fastest men in the big leagues. He's on base now. Now you have some options. You can hit and run with him. He makes good contact. Huge lead for Bonifacio.
Line drive, base hit, left field. These Marlins can hit. They play well on the road, and right away they get it going against Joe Saunders. Remember, Infante was picked up this past winter when Dan Ugla went to the Braves. Mike Dunn, a reliever, came back as well.
Left fielder number 20.
Just a fastball in the middle of the plate. Bang! Right over the shortstop's head. That'd be Stephen Drew, and on one hop to Gerardo Parra. Well, these Florida Marlins making no mistake about letting these Diamondback fans know they mean business over there in the East. They've won 30 games.
And they're 16-9, Gracie and folks at home. 16-9 on the road.
That's really good.
Here is Logan Morrison. He takes a pitch that dives down and away. Grew up in the Kansas City, Missouri area. He loved baseball because of George Brett.
And quietly having a heck of a year. Coming in hitting .325.
And hangs in there nicely against left-handers. How about 13 of 39 lefty on lefty? A .333 clip. Saunders misses inside. 2-0 the count. Well, here's what happened last time with Joe. He went 8 innings. He gave up just 2 runs, walked only 1, and struck out 4. He threw a lot of fastballs, and his average velocity was almost 91 miles an hour. He was aggressive and stayed on the attack. Two and 1 the count over the outside to Logan Morrison.
Just looked like he was taken all the way there. Ended up taking a pretty decent pitch to hit. Joe Saunders does get ground balls. He's one of the better double play guys, if you will, as far as starting pitchers in the National League.
Yeah, he's induced 10 of them. 10 double plays, 5 coming in one game. That pitch dives down and out of the zone. He is number 1 in the National League. Three and 1 the count. The Marlins have come out of the gates with a couple of base hits. A single Bonifacio, a single Omar Infante. That's high. That's ball 4. So right away, Joe Saunders has his defense and himself in some really hot water. And that happens in front of a .300 hitter and Gabby Sanchez, who, by the way, is nothing to sneeze at as well.
I was going to say Gabby Sanchez, 31 RBIs. Joe Saunders, he's going to have to pitch awfully well just to keep this to maybe a couple of runs in this inning. Diamondbacks are playing the infield back. They're going to concede the run and try to turn a double play.
Outside, 1-0 the count to Gabby Sanchez. Sanchez hitting .333 against Southpaws. He's having a nice road trip for these Florida Marlins. And timely hitting. You put ducks on the pond, runners in scoring position. He's one of the best for these Florida Marlins. So hot water here for Saunders. Popped it up though. Shallow left. Parra with a fabulous arm. Races in. He makes the play. Right to the plate. Right to home plate. And Bonifacio stuck at third.
One of the fastest people in the game. He knows the arm of Gerardo Parra. He's seen the highlight film plays that left arm of Parra has made this year. Bonifacio took about 3 steps and decided, nah, I don't really want to do that. And it's a good thing he didn't, because he would have been out by 40 feet. Okay, here I come. No, I was just kidding. Huge out right there.
Now it stays tough, though, because here is the young, gifted Mike Stanton. In the back of the batter's box, wide open stance. Pops it up, right side. He got away with the changeup up in the zone. 2 outs in the inning. Momentum builder if you get out of this.
Oh, absolutely. First pitch change up, and I think just the change of speed fooled Stanton enough to get him to lunge. As you said, it was up in the zone, Darren, but he got it right off the end of the bat. Boy, huge second out. Now Joe Saunders a chance to really rev up this crowd and rev up his ball club.
He faces longtime Philadelphia Philly Greg Dobbs, who moved to the Marlins organization and not just coming off the bench, signing in January as a free agent. He has been playing just about every day, and he's been playing several positions, and look at those numbers. You guys waiting for an easy out to walk up to the plate? It's not happening.
Not on this club.
Swing and a miss.
Beautiful slider there. Very aggressive, these Marlin hitters.
It's kind of always been a trademark,
yeah,
hasn't it?
You saw Anibal Sanchez pop up to left field on the very first pitch he saw. Then Mike Stanton pops up to first base on the very first pitch he saw. Dobbs a full swing and miss on a pitch, a good 1.5 feet outside.
Good numbers, has not faced lefties at all this year. Swing and a miss. 0-2 the count, another breaking ball.
Same slider, same result, a swing and a miss. What's a late bite. Down and away, no chance for Dobbs. Boy, Joe Saunders. Well, you have to throw that pitch again, don't you?
Well, and if you do, you may have to throw a little further out, and that puts the catcher under the spotlight to make sure he keeps it with him. That's Miguel Montero. Bases full of Florida Marlins. The 0-2. There's Miguel coming up big.
Good call on that part by you, Darren Sutton. You smelled that rat.
He threw it as hard as he could, 84 miles an hour, and spiked it right into the dirt. And Miguel, have to be ready to be there again. Dobbs now 32 years old, be 33 right around Independence Day.
I think that fastball in might be the call right here. Let's see. Saunders just steps off. Miguel Montero not quite sure what's going on. Okay, let's try it again.
Dobbs in there against the lefty. Both Hanley Ramirez and Scott Cousins nicked up. Maximum can just pinch hit tonight. Only 3 at-bats against a lefty this year. He got him. He chased out of the zone, and Joe Saunders just wiggled right off the hook.
Very impressive, Joe Saunders. Another slider.
Feather of the Arizona Army National Guard in Afghanistan. I want to say hello to my wife Diana and to my kids Michael, Michelle, and Dakota. I miss you, and I love you all, and I'll see you soon. Go Diamondbacks!
Well done. How's that for support from those who deserve to be supported the most, those that serve our country, and we thank them for their sacrifice and the family members as well. It is an honor to be a part of this evening. Kelly Johnson to lead it off. And that pitch from Chris Volstad dives down and away. He's a big fella, Chris Volstad. 6 feet 8 inches tall. Still just 24 years old, so his future is certainly bright. Uses the leverage to get the sink to Kelly. 1-1.
Let's see if the Diamondbacks have some of that momentum that Joe Saunders provided. Wiggling out of bases loaded, nobody out, jam.
Kelly heating up, had a nice road trip. And Johnson, in his last 9 games, has 12 hits, hitting .343, and a lot of them extra base hits. He went around there. And his last 12 hits, 7 of them have been extra base hits. He's driven in 11 in his last 9 games.
Oh boy, he got a good slider to hit there and took a mighty rip at it.
Volstad making his 10th start of the year. Last time out, pitched at San Francisco, pitched well. 6 innings, 2 runs allowed. Received a no decision, but his team won the game. Kelly takes inside, strike 3, 95 miles an hour. He just painted the inside corner. Let's take a look at the starting lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. And there's always a bit of a different look to it, like Melvin Moore batting second, playing third. Upton and Drew stay the same along with Young and Montero. Juan Miranda has earned the right to play quite a bit more. Gerardo Parra bats in that unenviable 8th spot, and Joe Saunders is the pitcher batting 9th. Melvin Mora takes outside. Mora just had 12 at-bats in this road trip. He was 3 of 12. Had an 0 for yesterday, 0 for 4 in the ball game. Bouncing ball out to short. Emilio Bonifacio fires on across. No Hanley Ramirez. Let's take a look at that defense. When we say no Hanley Ramirez, we first look at the outfield of Morrison, Coughlin, and Stanton. Hanley missed a game, right foot contusion Wednesday night, hit by a pitch by Javier Lopez. And so continuing to get better. And again, a lower back stiffness as well. So it's created a challenge in piecing together a lineup. And when you talk about the Marlins, they've been just fine. I mean, they have done a fine job just finding the right answers as Justin Upton takes a strike. Edwin Rodriguez, the skipper, you saw him a moment ago.
Well, a lot of players' backs tend to start to get weak and have problems when Clayton Kershaw is pitching for the Los Angeles Dodgers, like yesterday.
Pitches outside. 1-1 the count.
I always got those bad Dwight Gooden hamstrings.
Upton scalds it into center field. Justin is on the move. Into second with the double. Hit a ball in a very similar manner yesterday into right center field. Firm just like that. And so for Justin, another double. That is 12 doubles this season.
Yeah, firm. Bang. Took a breaking ball. Coughlin has great speed, but he got beat on the fly by a Justin Upton line drive on a short hop. So starting to see signs of maybe Justin starting to come around a little bit. It's good to see Justin smiling. Doubles make you smile.
Just a moment ago, we had a shot coming back from break with a beautiful design honoring our men and women of the military and the sacrifice they made. This ladies and her husband saw her on AFN. She just got communication from Afghanistan. So we are watching on the American Forces Network. And so is he. That's great news. They're watching around the world in Iraq and in Germany and Italy and Southwest Asia and South Korea, Japan as well. Thank you for all of your service to our country, the American Forces Network.
Oh, what a pitch. Change up for a swinging strike the previous pitch and then zip a fastball perfectly on the outside corner at the knees.
So the count is 1-2. Steven with 3 home runs. Steven also with 29 runs batted in. He did not go around. Jerry Davis is the crew chief. He's also the third base umpire.
Did he go, folks at home? Nope, he checked it. That's a good call by Jerry Davis.
Late on that one, pops it foul. Did he lose his bat?
He sure did. He'll have to get some new lumber.
A couple of nights ago, Steven had a big night. He had a 4-hit night on Saturday against the Astros with a couple of runs, and he was actually thrown into the box. You know what's returned to the Diamondbacks as part of the old school feel in that locker room? Kangaroo court is back.
You're kidding.
Kangaroo court is back.
Man. I thought that was just us fantasy campers anymore.
That one has popped up to left field. Steven complained the entire batting practice about his swing. He said, I've got nothing going. He went out and got 4 hits that night. He got written up.
The box. Talk about standing there in front of the firing squad and having them miss.
Here's John Buck. He kind of handed them their weapons, though. I mean, he's the one who walked over and said, this one's for you, you, and you. He created a bit of a mess with some base hits and a walk. John Buck has played just about every day, at least for a catcher. He started 44 of the first 51 games. Good curveball, and now maybe Saunders. That puts even more pep at his step to come out on the attack. This past November, Buck signed a 3-year deal to be the Marlins catcher. For quite some time, move into the new ballpark that they're moving into next season as their everyday catcher.
Marlins are excited about that.
I think they should be.
Absolutely.
They play good baseball, winning baseball every year. And they are certainly excited to increase their fan base because they're going to have a brand new downtown stadium.
Justin Upton makes the play, and folks, you can get your tickets for this weekend's D-backs games versus the Nationals, and be sure to look for our value items all around the ballpark for just $1.50. You can get a hot dog, a corn dog, a small popcorn, or a small Pepsi. And for just $4, you can get a 14-ounce beer. You can't get that anywhere else. For tickets, call 602-462-4784. Visit dbacks.com/value.
Chris Coughlin in that tough 8 slot goes to work and takes high. 1-0 the count, hitting .243. The former first-round pick, supplemental pick in 2006 out of Ole Miss. Grew up living in Maryland until he was about 10 years old and then moved south. Some cold winters in Maryland as a young man as he swings through that one. 1-2. Good sinker. Outside corner, that's strike 3.
Well, you called the pep in the step, Darren. You can see it out there with Joe Saunders. I mean, beautifully zipped right to the outside corner. And the rooster in the hen house right now look for Joe Saunders.
From our suite and our guest with the Arizona National Guard, the family members, as that is just wide. 1-0 the count. Saunders, again, in his last 5 starts, has a 3.58 ERA. He has been inspired by the successes of his teammates around him. And I think had a fellow teammate sent down to the minor leagues, that'll always give you a quick reminder, as happened to Armando Galarraga.
Oh,
look
out, Melvin Moore.
Don't try to play that, Melvin.
When Melvin tried to play it, Jerry Davis, the old veteran, he just got out of there. The third base umpire.
He turned tail and ran, did he?
Doggone right.
As he should.
That was some pretty good distance. What'd the Bulgarian judge give on that javelin?
6.4.
Jerry Davis is no fool.
1-2 the count. Hanging around, popping it up to the right side. When you talk about Arizona starting pitching, and you go back to May 14th when the run began and the winning began and the regular winning, it's just been dependable. ERA, timely hitting against, keeping the base pass clean just like that. He'll run in just a moment. Miguel will fire it on. He has sat 6 in a row down, Joe Saunders, just loading up the bases to start the game.
Young, just wanted to pay my respects to all the families who have lost loved ones in the military. You know, it doesn't go unappreciated. Appreciate everything that the military does for us to keep us safe and look over our country. Thank you very much.
Thank you, young lady. Well said. God bless all of our military families that walk alone now without someone who made a sacrifice. And for those that are still in harm's way around the world, that's a little cutie, isn't she?
Mom's very proud right next to her, as she should be.
We heard from Chris Young. He leads it off, the center fielder for the Diamondbacks, with 9 home runs, 29 runs batted in. And he takes a strike from Volstad. Arizona, the first team in the history of this game to gain sole possession of first place in their league. As the breaking ball is a strike. During the month of May, after entering the month with a deficit of at least 6.5 games.
Ever. That seems amazing. That has never been done.
That fast, that quick in May. Understanding not in any month, but in May. Last year, this team was 19-23 in one-run games. This year, they're 13-7 already. Pops that one up to the right side, out front of a breaking ball. Infante calls him off. A quick reminder, every time a Diamondback player hits a homer, and there will be one here in a bit.
Really?
Fulton Homes, they're very generous. They donate $150 to the Central Arizona Mountain Rescue Association. Matter of fact, it may be right here.
Well, you got a call, huh? All right, don't go to the refrigerator, folks. Darren Sutton has guaranteed that Miguel Montero, well, he's going to homer. What, this pitch or
just this at bat?
Okay.
Up, it's on the ground.
That's terrible, Sutton.
It did not get out of here
on your part. I apologize for my partner, folks. He's a little rusty in the home games. He spent a lot of time on the road. Needs to get his moxie back here at home.
Well, here's the thing, and this is the kind of leadership I try to provide up here in the booth. I will go ahead and say that, and, I'll take all the blame so Miguel doesn't have to. The second out, here's Juan Miranda. Five home runs, 15 RBIs, 3 of 12 in the Houston series with 2 homers. Hit them both on Friday night. The win of the year, many thinking, for the Diamondbacks came on Friday night. They were listless. They were lifeless. They were struggling defensively. They were doing nothing offensively, and they were down 6-0. And they won the ball game.
And this guy put the team on those big old sturdy Cuban shoulders. Speaking of big old shoulders, Volstad just had a very easy 1-2-3 inning. And we're going to take it to the top of the third. Oh, that looks good.
Say hi to all my friends and family back home. Thanks for all of your support. And all you guys down there in the pool, have a beer for us.
Nice. That's awesome. They will do, and we raise our glasses to you and thank you. As Joe Saunders goes back to work, fires outside to Emilio Bonifacio.
They pay attention. Dare I say, first place.
Bonifacio on the ground, and he's on again. Boy, he looks ready to go. I mean, 100% positively ready to go. Remember, Bonifacio was the piece in the trade in July that brought John Roush to the Diamondbacks from the Nationals.
Just kind of been a part-time player wherever he's been. Found a home now in Florida. And depending on the health of Hanley Ramirez, you're going to see a lot of Emilio Bonifacio and his speed.
Signed at 16 years old, Junior Noboa. Runs a lot of the operations in the Dominican and Latin American scouting, player development.
Speed never has a slump, does it, Darren?
No, when he uses the whole ballpark like that and is not in the air, very, very dangerous. Stolen bases left and right for Bonifacio. Omar Infante. Emilio this year, stolen bases, he has just 2, which is kind of a stunning number. Had 12 last year in 73 games for the Marlins. 21 the year before that.
And just because you're fast, and he is one of the fastest players in the majors, doesn't mean you're a great base stealer. You still have to be able to get good jumps. You have to get good reads. And I would imagine most of those caught stealings, Darren, are probably being picked off in situations like this. That is a very big lead.
And this is one of Joe's specialties. Bunts that one to the right side. Joe's going to have to hurry. Loses his footing. Everybody's safe. He falls off to the third baseline naturally as a left-handed pitcher. So by the time he got set and headed for that ball, Infante put it in the perfect place.
That's a great bunt, first and foremost. And you can see Miranda decides to stay home, and now Joe Saunders had to make a great play, and he couldn't do it. A couple times we've seen Joe laid out the last couple of games he's pitched.
Now he had a play at home plate on a wild pitch where he covered the plate and hung in there very nicely with Dexter Fowler as they collided at home plate. It was a great play. He's in hot water again. Same 2 guys got it going.
This is kind of Groundhog Day right now for Joe Saunders, and I don't think he wants this repeated. Much like Bill Murray in the famous movie.
You really don't. Morrison missing 21 games earlier this year. An arch injury in his left foot cost him time. Can't think of anything more uncomfortable.
Ow. That just sounds awful.
When your foot and your arch hurt you bad enough to be on the disabled list, that's not good. So Morrison, though, when he's been healthy and been out there, he's been hitting. Yeah, Matt knows about foot injuries. Broken bones in his foot. 0-2 the count. 3 hits for Florida, 1 for the Diamondbacks.
Boy, he just absolutely schooled Morrison with a 3-pitch strikeout. Boy, what a beautiful fastball there. I don't know what that was as far as the swing, but that's a very good hitter and a very hot hitter that you just made look pretty feeble.
Gabby Sanchez out of the University of Miami, the Marlins' number 4 pick in 2005. Fastball buries it in. Sanchez takes all the way.
I like this guy. This guy can hit. I like the way he just took that up and in fastball and he just didn't even budge. He was a wall. No problem. He just looks hitterish, doesn't he?
Well, it really loads up too on that back leg. Pitches in, did not budge again. Almost hit that back leg, and he didn't move an inch. Played to pull maybe a step or so on the infield. Outfield is straight up. Sanchez, his entire life, has been a South Florida guy. That's low. 3-0 the count. Went to Brito Miami High School. Went to the University of Miami. Now is a Florida Marlin. Used to go all the time to Marlins games with his dad. That's neat to hear with the newer team. Yeah, it is hot at that yard. The 3-0. 3-1.
Well, decision time now for the Marlins. You've got very good speed on the bases in Bonifacio and Infante. Now, do you have them running 3-1? I do. Try to stay out of that double play.
Well, that's the key. You've got a ground ball pitcher. They don't go, and it's popped up. You have got a guy that gets balls when he is right on the ground. Though it's down a little bit this year, he tends to get them right now.
And he got a break right there. That would have been ball 4, but Sanchez was swinging, and he had a tardy swing on a fastball up and away. Now it's 3-2, and I would imagine once again, well, they weren't running 3-1, but I would imagine they have to be running here. You got speed out there like that, you've got to use it.
And Saunders keeps an eye just in case. Gabby will be 28 years old on September the 2nd. So still young, bright future ahead of him. Runners go now. Hot shot, diving attempt. That'll drive in a run. What a beautiful piece of hitting. 1-0. Talk about confidence, staying back, letting it travel, and then just scalding it to the hole.
That's a change up, and he does wait back on it and just past a sprawling Kelly Johnson. But boy, that ball was smoked. And these Marlins a lot. As he stays back on that pitch, boy, that's pretty right there. But these Marlins were very over aggressive in those situations in the first inning. Really did a good job of just sitting back and letting Joe Saunders.
Oh, my goodness. Melvin Mora from his knees. They got one. I have no idea how he even found and stopped that baseball. You can't hit it any harder if you're Mike Stanton. 2-0, by the way. A run scores.
Third baseman, Greg Dobbs.
Unbelievable play, and then from his knees getting the force out. Stanton runs very well for a big man, and he needs to. That is a great play by Melvin Mora. There have been some very hard hit balls here in this inning off Joe Saunders.
Nice ovation from this crowd for a play like that. Nice ovation from the pitchers. Pitchers love a play like that.
Yeah, deservedly so, I would imagine. Dobbs takes a fastball there after a bunch of sliders in his first at bat. I would imagine he was sitting nothing but slider and got a fastball snuck by him. Got another fastball snuck by him.
No balls and 2 strikes to count. 2-0. The Marlins lead it. They've had the bases just loaded up with their ball players the last few innings. There was a clean second inning. And Dobbs takes way outside.
Somehow, some way, Montero was able to corral that one.
Again, Dobbs, just because of a couple of men down, meaning Handy Ramirez back, Scott Cousins battling an injury, fouling a ball off his foot. So he is in there against a left-hander. Rarely does that happen. And it looks it so far tonight. Dobbs is 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. But the good news for These Florida Marlins, despite that strikeout, as they played a pair, a couple of RBIs, one by Sanchez, one by Stanton. You know what? Let's get it on out to our suite as we celebrate those in the Arizona National Guard and their family members. Let's get it on out to Jody Jackson. Jody?
All right, thanks so much, Darren. Here in the suite with Jocelyn Rainier of the National Guard's Joint Family Programs. And Jocelyn, you are a Family Readiness Support Assistant. How important is it for these families to have a support system, whether they're deployed or here in town?
They need to have a support system. It's very important so the families know that we're here for them. Always here for them, always taking care of them, and whatever they need, any little thing or to the biggest thing, anything that they need, that we're here to take care of them.
You've worked with many of the families here in this suite today, I know, and so what are some of the biggest challenges for these families?
Some of the biggest challenges, I think, just little things, trying to get their cars fixed. You know, when their spouse is gone for a year and the air conditioning breaks or the car breaks and they need to get the children to school, it's so hard. It's very difficult, especially when that spouse, that number one teammate of yours, is gone and they don't know what to do. So we try to provide anything and everything that we can help them with. Just those little tasks will really make their lives a lot, just very helpful for them.
It can be very difficult when you're missing a family member. And then another thing I know that you want to talk about is it's not only when a family is getting ready for deployment or deployed, but when they're coming back, right? So what are the things that you deal with when a family member comes back?
When they're coming home, a lot of them don't have jobs. A lot of them are just trying to get reintegrated into family life, to everyday life. Just being back here in the U.S. is really tough for them. So just everyday life, job support, trying to get them back to their families and trying to talk with their families and get that family role back in place.
Jocelyn, thanks for the work that you do with the Joint Family Program.
Thank you. Thanks.
All right, as we continue here with the Arizona National Guard families in the suite, guys, back over to you.
Thank you, Jody. Don't forget to join Major League Baseball in helping those veterans who have done so much to help us. Log on to MLB.com or welcomebackveterans.org for more information on how you can make a difference. We play on now with the veteran right-hander, Volstad, ready to go to work as he sails it low. Making his 10th start of the year.
So far, just been in complete command other than a double by Upton in the first inning. He has just knifed right through this Diamondback lineup, but he falls behind Parra 2-0.
3 home runs, 14 RBIs, and that challenge of batting in the 9 spot. One of you being pitched around, one should you open things up. High fly left field. Parra just knocked it out of here.
He's starting to drive the ball the other way a lot, Darren, as he touches home plate for the first Diamondback run. That's 3 home runs to the opposite field. He's only got 4 on the year. 3 of those have been right about in the same spot, right there in that first row in left field. You can see Morrison just runs out of room. Out she goes. And the Diamondbacks showing once again their ability to just hang right in there and not get down when things aren't going well.
That's a Fulton Holmes homer, another $150 to the Central Arizona Mountain Rescue Association. As they hop right off the mat, as Gracie was saying, Joe Saunders 2-0 the count. Well, that's got to be a little bit frustrating when you're a pitcher and you travel into this ballpark and have it sail out that first row over on a hot summer night with the roof open.
That ball was hit well.
It was scalded.
It was hit well. It might have been, I'm not sure if it would have been a homer in most places.
A double over the head of an outfielder.
I mean, he was certainly beat. 3-2 now on Joe Saunders.
7th home run allowed this year.
If you're going to give up a cheap one here, that's where there and that part of right field are where you might be able to get a cheap one.
Joe hits that one on the ground to second base and is erased. He talked about it. Parra the other night homered in that Saturday night game. He and Zach Duke both homered. Duke in his Diamondbacks debut, but Parra pulled that homer. Arizona winners of 14 of their last 16 contests. Here's Kelly. Johnson struck out looking. A beautiful fastball inside corner locked him up. And the curveball is high. We're talking about his 12 hits in his last 9 games. That pitch is up and away. His first 41. He hit 181 in his first month and a half.
Yeah. It was a legitimate 181 too. It's a long time to hang around.
Oh boy, high drive, left center field, goodbye.
That was opposite field. That was not a cheapie.
No sir. Tied at 2. Fulton owns Homer $150 to the Central Arizona Mountain Rescue Association.
Kelly Johnson did a lot of that in batting practice today, Darren. Brad Steinke was saying earlier he watched a lot of Kelly Johnson's batting practice, and he had hit about 10 in a row in the seats. Well, he hit one when it counted too.
Brad, expound upon what you saw in the conversation surrounding Kelly Johnson.
Well, he came off that road trip. He hit 363 in Colorado and Houston, but just said he's feeling really good. Obviously, he got some positive feedback in the end of that homestand, but like Mark just mentioned, he was dialed in batting practice. I don't think I've ever seen his stroke as dialed in as it was, and we're seeing more of the payoff on that last home run.
And Brad, were we talking about just consistent power all over the ballpark? Is that what you saw?
Yeah, and mostly to right field, but when he gets that swing in a groove like we've seen him in the past, it's something special to watch. And Stephen Drew was taking batting practice with him, so was Ryan Roberts. Both were just kind of shaking their head and kind of smiling like, yeah, he's got it back.
Thank you, Brad, for being on that. As that one is outside.
Good stuff. He was mentioning it to me earlier. I personally didn't see Kelly Johnson's batting practice. I was busy eating.
That's always a good thing.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a holiday. Upton shots. Breaking ball hung out over the plate. Looked like a slider, but it was a slider at the belt. So Justin Upton, he's got a couple of hits.
Bullets off the bat of Justin Upton here this evening. A double in the first. And I mean just a bullet. A rope right into left field. That'd be kind of nice to get Justin Upton on a little Justin Upton streak that we've seen over the years. Don Baylor got to love what he's seeing. Yeah, that ball was smoked. So I guarantee you somebody said that to him.
Here's Stephen Drew. Flied to left field back in the first inning. And that fastball, a called strike, just at the knees. Boxed a little bit behind home plate, so it looked low once he turned around, but it was a strike. Gracie saying otherwise sitting next to me, but that was a strike.
Clearly low.
0-1 the count.
We like Greg Gibson. He's a good friend of the show. Home plate umpire.
Stephen line drive, base hit, right center field. Justin looking to go first to third. He does so easily. Arizona's got their hitting shoes on this inning. Stephen is 1 for 2.
This time Stephen Drew picked out a changeup from Volstad. And then it's his turn to make a bat make a loud sound as he rips it into right center field. And Justin Upton's just going to head all the way to third. We're going to get a visit to the mound from the Florida Marlins pitching coach.
We've been seeing a lot of this. For those of you, and we welcome you on board if you'd like to grab a seat on the bandwagon, understandable after the last couple of years, but we've been seeing aggressive base running, come from behind offense, a confident bunch, not overly confident, not fake.
Oh, I agree, as Randy St. Clair heads back to the dugout. Yeah, I agree. Walking with a swagger that we didn't see 2 weeks ago. A team that's starting to believe that they're never out of a game. And a bunch of guys that last year at this time were feeling they were out of games in the third inning.
We hope to see you out here during this homestand. Again, Gracie and I spent all morning. We stopped by our good friends and partners at the Home Depot. We spent all morning building extra seats and making that bandwagon bigger.
Absolutely. And if you want to hop on, I'll be the first one to give you a boost. Come on. Hop on. It's fun up here.
And you've listened and you've watched. You know they had to pull us aboard as well. Little topper could be interesting. Tough play. Only play is to hold on to the baseball. Another Diamondback rewarded for putting a baseball in play.
Same hitter, same result. Chris Young did it in Houston.
Decided the game.
Ryan Roberts ended up scoring, running over a catcher. This is just about the same time. This time the catcher, John Buck. He's not going to be able to tag Justin Upton, and it just looked like he had trouble making the exchange, or I think it's just Chris Young was flying down the line.
All right, so that's an RBI. That's a good way to pick up number 30. Drew is out there at second base, and now Miguel Montero. Now here comes the homer.
Oh, okay. This time. All right, folks. Once again, Darren Sutton is guaranteed a homer.
That pitch is low. 1-0 the count. By the way, if he does knock it out of here, it's a Taco Bell day. That's 6 runs.
So
3 free tacos with a large drink tomorrow.
Stop feeding the dog table scraps and just pay attention. Here it comes.
The other way, a base hit. We'll take it. These Diamondback fans, the throw to the plate. Drew sliding in safe. Don't worry about not having homers. He has got an angry Chris Volstad when you've seen it bat like that. A line drive the other way, a thing of beauty.
Yeah, I think Chris Volstad is mostly upset. Well, he's upset about a lot of things, but he's probably still upset that that little squibbler out in front of the mound led to a run. And now this one, a bad pitch up in the zone. Montero all the way. Matt Williams wheeling him all the way around with some passion. Stephen Drew scores easily. And these Diamondbacks showing they can score without homering.
And with 2 outs.
Yeah, 2 homers in this inning to start the scoring, the first 2 runs. But now 4 hits in a row have led to 2 more runs.
Juan Miranda takes a pitch that is low. Miranda since the 18th day of May, hitting .379. Better than Freddie Freeman. He's the hottest first baseman around. On base percentage of .471 in that time as well. So Miranda has earned the right to see quite a bit of playing time. Drives that one into center field, but there to make the play is Coughlin. Did you hear that crowd react to that? Good crowd tonight. A walk up of about 4,000. They've been given something to cheer for. Carl went the other way. Kelly Johnson went the other way. Then they just started stacking up base hits. Good to be back home.
that story just warmed my heart and just got me over here tear-eyed. So I just wanted to give you a hug.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Dog tags, memories, families, generations. Proud to honor those that have sacrificed their lives.
Hear, hear.
And those that are off and away, while moms and dads, for the ladies that are away, for our female soldiers. That one is on the ground to the right side. John Buck is a ground out. Well, I'm told there's a solid AT&T trivia question.
Well, we're desperately in need of one. Haven't had one in a while.
It's been a really tough trip. Name the 4 Hall of Famers to serve in the military and hit 500 home runs. Well, that's a good question.
I like it.
We'll let you think about that.
A great military hero was Bob Feller, Hall of Famer.
Here's Chris Coughlin. I mean, that couldn't be your guess, really, is it? Bob Feller?
Well, yeah, Hall of Famers.
He's a pitcher. 0-1 the count. Popped up. Boy, a big swing, and he took advantage with an off-speed pitch. Melvin has got it.
That's 2 of the quicker outs you'll see. 3 pitches so far in this inning, 2 outs.
And he does it on the heels of his club getting him the lead. That's the key.
I got another guess.
Boy, I can't wait.
Great World War I veteran, Christy Mathewson.
Again, this is a pitcher. I don't.
Well, it's served in the military, Hall of Famers. Well, boy.
1-0 the count.
Hate disrespecting those great Hall of Famers like this. Oh, man, what a left-hander this guy was. Warren Spahn.
Fred, do we have control over his microphone out there? Is there anything we can do with that?
Oh man, I'm just getting heated up. The
pitch.
Korean War. Let's not forget about the Korean War. Whitey Ford, another Hall of Famer. That was. Well, I just don't get why these things.
There we go. They turned your mic off. I love it, folks. His mic has been turned off. If we could just center me up here for a solo, that'd be fabulous.
Hello? There we go.
They realize you have a much higher Q rating than I do. Swing and a miss. That's strike 3. Please, can we have the answer when we come back? Joe Saunders steamrolls through the bottom of the order. Please put an end to this. answer that, please? The 4 Hall of Famers to serve: Eddie Matthews, Ernie Banks, Ted Williams, Willie Mays, all legendary hitters. Hitters, Mark Grace.
I see. You know what's funny is my 13 years I spent in Chicago, I got to know Ernie Banks very well, and I did not know that.
Well, there you go.
I'm glad that
you were so wrong.
I'm never happy about that.
We've got a treat at the end of this full inning and into the next inning as Kyle Hoy, our Army Young Man of the Year. He's the Army Child of the Year, but he's no child. He will come in and sit with us. One of 1,400 children nominated for the award, and it will be our treat today. He will share with us some of his gifts that he has shared with those around the military. Back in the 4th inning, Gerardo Parra, Gracie, the other way.
In the 3rd inning, right off the steps out there. It might have been, in probably Volstad's opinion, maybe a cheapie. But the good thing for Volstad and anybody else, his hitters are hitting in the same ballpark.
Couldn't agree with you more. I mean, there's no denying it. Joe Saunders has to deal with the same situation, and Saunders even, admittedly, by some of his quotes, was a little bit tentative in the way he went about his business in this ballpark. You don't do yourself any good if you're tentative in a hitter's ballpark.
Well, you can't have rabbit ears. You can't listen to what your buddies have told you over the, oh, man, you're going to Arizona. Oh, the ball flies there, man. Well, just make your pitches. And as I always say, this ballpark had no problems at all for guys like Randy Johnson, Kurt Schilling, Brandon Webb, Dan Herron. Ian Kennedy likes pitching here as well. And that's 5 straight wide ones here to start the bottom of the 4th.
1-0 the count to Saunders.
Thought I'd lost you there for a second, partner. Good to have you back.
Just working through some things logistically. Got to present a solid telecast, Grace.
Of course.
It's a holiday. Folks are having their feet up as he is driven back to the bag in Parra. Now, the one thing we have learned about Gerardo Parra and the work that he does is he's not afraid to get out there and get going. He's got 4 stolen bases. And Volstad is a guy you can run on. Pops that one up. Saunders looking to move him over first, and the count is 1-1. Joe's got 1 sacrifice this year.
Matt Williams going through that universal baseball language. Matt Williams having a good year over there at third base, isn't he?
He's having a real good year. You know what? Kirk Gibson's entire staff had a good day yesterday because when Gibson was ejected early in the ball game, he went all the way up to his office, did not communicate with his staff.
And we were giving Kirk Gibson a lot of credit for that ball game, and he wanted us to make sure that Alan Trammell gets the nod. As that one's bunted foul, strike 2. But Alan Trammell was the one leading the charge from the dugout yesterday while Gibby was back in the office.
Up a couple of long flights of stairs and a couple 100 yards away.
I think the story is it's worth telling why he goes up there, Darren, don't you think?
Well, he believes that once, in fact, you are in that position of being the fill-in manager, if you will, you need to be able to fill in manage. You don't need someone over your shoulder. At one point during his career as a coach, as that one is fouled off and Saunders goes down on strikes. When Gibson was a bench coach and was thrust into that position at another point in his career, he had a feeling about something, did research, and then it was changed from a manager down the steps, hiding in the tunnel, and it failed. And Gibson felt betrayed. Live mic, folks, we apologize. Got a live mic down there. I think Joe was hoping he could get that one down. Kelly. It's a called strike. Hey, you know, I mean, passionate. Wanted to get that bunt down. 0-1 the count to Hard hitting Kelly Johnson.
That was almost as fun as throwing the pizza.
Yeah, we've all wanted to get a bunt down and not been able to do it.
Okay, I'm better now.
It's frustrating. Just couldn't get the bunt down. 0-1 the count. Kelly takes a breaking ball that is high. And of course, hard hitting again, Gracie. Last 10 games, good stuff.
He is back to being hard hitting Kelly Johnson. A lot of extra base hits. That's when you know a player is starting to just really dial in. When you're getting extra base hits, not just singles, I mean doubles, homers. That was ripped foul past Eric Young. Everything on the barrel of the bat right now for Kelly Johnson.
Oh.
Well, that just sounds wonderful, doesn't it? Way out of here to left center field, about 420 feet away.
1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Glad to have you with us on this Memorial Day. The big fella Volstad, he's at 60 pitches. Kelly just got a piece of it. That's part of staying warm too, isn't it, as a hitter, fouling off the tough ones.
That was one of the better curveballs Volstad's thrown tonight. And that's probably 3 weeks ago. That's probably strike 3 swinging right there. But now that he's starting to feel better about things, and he's a confident young man in the batter's box, he's able to just scrape it foul and maybe get another mistake.
He's got the runner at first, and Parra, who stays put. Kelly drives it right field. It's deep. Stanton going back. It's over his head. It's over the wall. It's a ground rule double. Otherwise, Matt Williams, I think he was ready to get wheeling again.
Yeah, that's a bad break right there for the Diamondbacks. A good break for the Diamondbacks is Kelly Johnson has become Kelly Johnson again. And it's good to see. That's the good break. The bad break is this beautiful swing, and the result, as it gets over the head of Stanton, well, you'd love that thing to hit the top of the wall and go back into the field of play, and that would have scored a run, but instead it hops over. And I believe that might be all for young Mr. Volstad.
Rodriguez out. The bullpen was warming. And that'll do it. Call to the bullpen has been made. 4-2. Arizona will reset. Brooke Badenhop comes in out of the pen. More after this.
Battlefield with the Arizona Army National Guard in Afghanistan. I'd like to say hi to my wife, Jackie, and my kids, Mackenzie, Elizabeth, Emma, and Maximus. Be good for your mom. And thank you, everybody, for your support.
For Florida now pitching.
Don't forget to visit FoxSportsArizona.com for all of the I love yous and hellos from those that are serving our country overseas to their family and loved ones. Chris Volstad just had a tough day.
Came unraveled after a couple of easy innings in the first and second inning. Just came unraveled. A couple of home runs. Just really got underneath his skin. And Burke Badenhop's going to take over. He's got some funk to him.
Yes, he does, as he slings it in there. Our Verizon wireless call to the bullpen was used in a pinch, picking up a save on Wednesday night in an extra inning game. Pitched a perfect 12th inning in a victory. Has worked in the big leagues quite a bit. Was working this year, starting the season in AAA.
Any ground ball except to the first baseman will score a run and make it 5-2. Good pitch there. Taken all the way was Mora.
Badenhop has inherited 3 runners to this point in the season. 1 has scored. The first batters have reached 4 of 10 times, so that's a healthy number for the Diamondbacks. Melvin pops it up. That looks too shallow. He was 3 of his last 5 with runners in scoring position. What do you have over there, Grace?
Well, I'm glad you asked. You can follow the Diamondbacks with MLB.com at Bat11 for your iPhone, your iPad, your Android, or your BlackBerry. Plus, when you check in at Chase Field with at-bat from your smartphone, you'll earn D-Backs rewards. Text at-bat to 31826 or visit dbacks.com for details.
Good stuff. It's a great app.
I've got it on right now.
So now Justin Upton with 2 outs with a base open. Upton has crushed 2 baseballs. He has doubled to right center field. He has singled the other way, pulling a baseball on a breaking ball up. Average at 250 for Upton.
Oh dear.
Sweeping breaking ball, 0-1.
That's what we mean when say he's got some funk to him. No, I wasn't saying he smells bad. I'm just saying he's got some funky movement to his pitches and his delivery.
He fought it off into right field. It's down for a base hit. Matt Williams waving him home. The throw, the slide. He's out at the plate. Stanton does have a cannon. It was a perfect throw. Matty pushing the envelope. Don't blame him. Upton with a beautiful piece of hitting. Drives in a run, though. You don't want to overlook the piece of hitting first.
One hop. This is a cannon. And right on the money. A sliding Johnson is out. But boy, what an arm.
And
Justin
what a play.
swinging it now.
Justin is
3 for 3 now.
Beautiful piece of hitting. We'd like to welcome in up to the broadcast booth on this Memorial Day, Kyle Hoy. And Kyle, the Army Child of the Year. You're no longer anything resembling a child. You know my guy Mark Grace here.
Young man?
Congratulations as we
well deserved.
welcome you up here. 1,400 young people nominated, and you obviously represented in Washington, D.C. here recently in April. For you, volunteerism service has been always a big part of your life, a military young man throughout your life. Talk about, first of all, giving back, why that matters to you.
I think it's not just me, but in a lot of military bases and things of that nature, you tend to help others out more because there's that family structure tends to be missing sometimes, for whether it's through deployments or even trainings that they only have to be gone for a couple months, but still. So you tend to help people out where you could, and once I brought that in the civilian world, it was kind of outstanding, but in the military world, that was just kind of the normal. So I think it just developed as just a product of where I lived and how I was raised, really.
Your father, Arizona National Guard, Sergeant First Class James Hoy, in aviation, correct? Explain a little bit about his career in the military.
He started in the Army. He was deployed 3 times, so it was Bosnia, Korea, and then Iraq. I was alive during all the deployments, but I only remember 2 of them because it was going to be through Bosnia. But he's been I couldn't ask for a better father. and he's a great soldier too. I think 14, 16 years in the Army, in the National Guard, and I think he's going to stay in until they kick him out.
He just keeps going back, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Emilio Bonifacio to lead it off. Kyle joins us, the Army Child of the Year, more than 1,400 children. Hey, going into your senior year at Marana High School, right?
Yes.
You already sound very grown up to me, but what do you want to do when you grow up?
I'm looking into going into JAG, which is a law program within the Army or Air Force or wherever I pick. But I want to keep my options open, so whatever one wants to take me, pretty much.
Wow.
So what got you interested in law?
I always felt that
You're much smarter than me.
Wow. I always thought it was a great system, just the fairness, and everyone gets treated equally, whether you're being defended or you're being prosecuted, you still get the equal treatment. I always thought that was sometimes that's missing in society, and if I can contribute to that, that'd be great.
What was the experience like in Washington, D.C.? I would imagine you were very humbled to receive the honor to spend time with the First Lady, to be in the heartbeat of the world, really, in Washington, D.C.
That could not have been a better experience. The First Lady, of course, was great, and the whole experience was great. But yeah, like you said, it was really humbling. Just the fact that I was there, and there were so many other great kids that could have been there. But all the recipients were amazing. They had all done amazing things, and Mrs. Obama was extremely amazing. She talked to us about programs she's starting and things of that nature. So it was an amazing experience, once in a lifetime, really.
Kyle Hoy joins us in the broadcast booth. And one of the big things that grabbed their attention was the deployment kit. You're part of the Key Club. The deployment kit. What is the deployment kit? What was your thinking behind that?
The deployment kit is it's pretty much just a book that's within it is little tidbits kind of to make you feel a little bit better. There's places for things that you like that make you feel better, pictures. Really the purpose of it is that it's something that when someone's deployed, you can take it out and you can look through it, and hopefully it'll pick your spirits up, because there are a lot of benefits to being a military child, but deployments is definitely one thing that's just a little.
Tell us a little bit about how you felt.
I remember during my very first deployment, that was actually the only deployment I've ever cried in. But it was not knowing how to deal with it before, because it was the very first one. It was kind of hard, but I know because I had that support within the military bases, and I had support between, friends of the family and things of that nature. That's kind of what got me through it. So I figure if I can, give that to other people, that's what I'm going to do.
How long is a typical deployment?
They can vary between anywhere from 6 months to now. I know a couple that have been 2 years almost.
Really?
Yeah. It's kind of changed. If you look at previous military children through other wars, the deployment really wasn't that long. The most was probably around 8 months. But now you're definitely seeing a longer deployments, and it is tough. But you get through it.
And you're very brave and a tough young man for being able to deal with it.
We're speaking with Kyle Hoy, the Army Child of the Year, one of 1,400 nominated. He earned the award. Tell me about your mom, Michaelina, and how she is definitely, I would imagine, been the heartbeat of your family through all this.
My mom is, and I will describe that this is the best word to describe her. She is just a strong woman who, it's her way or no way at all. But,
okay.
She kind of pushed me to start volunteering, and then after that, I started doing it on myself, and then after that, I just developed into teacher, and then teaching other teachers, and then speaking, and then it all kind of developed from there.
There's Mom.
Yeah.
There is Mom, very intricately involved in family programs. Yes. She showed you the way, not just told you the way, but showed you the way, right?
Yes. I owe absolutely everything that I've ever gotten pretty much to my mother. And that's really all I can say.
Who's Richard Pines, your freshman baseball coach? Is he kind of a law guy, too, in your life?
He is actually probably the main reason that I want to be in law, just because how he introduced the courses to me and all that other stuff. But he is ex military, and he is definition military. He's plays hardball, excuse the pun, but
that's all right. That's real
I know what you
hardball.
mean.
That's the real
I know what
hardball
you
you're
mean,
talking
exactly.
about.
he's the one that kind of pushed me into wanting to go into law, and I owe that to him. So
we're talking with Kyle Hoy.
Got a girlfriend?
Oh, actually, yes, she's over there.
Well, why didn't you bring her up here?
Well, they said two of us, so she's gorgeous, and I told her she made me promise that I wouldn't.
We want gorgeous chicks up
I
here.
know. She made me promise that I wouldn't speak about her on television or on the interview, but I said forget it.
Well, you were interrupted. As you started to speak, you were interrupted by a 2-run homer, and it makes it an interesting ball game.
Yeah.
Gabby Sanchez, it's a 5-4 score. Sanchez with the 2-run shot. He has 3 RBIs in the ball game. That is home run number 8 and RBIs number 33 and 34. We've got ourselves a good old-fashioned barn burner, Kyle and Gracie.
Well, talk about playing hardball, fastball right down the middle, belt high, and this ball got out of here quickly, ricocheting around down there in the Diamondback bullpen. And Joe Saunders, after 2 quick outs, a base hit and a long ball, and as you said, we got a brand new ball game, and now old momentum is going right back into that fish dugout. What do you think about that, Kyle? It's not very big league, is it?
Yeah. I definitely saw the momentum change with the Marlins, but now you're starting to see it switch back.
Switch back. The Marlins have a way of doing that. They're a great team away from home as well, because really they don't draw any fans at home, so there's really no home field advantage until they move into that new park. Now, you had a freshman baseball coach. He's turned out to be a big part of your pursuit of law. Do you still play the game at all?
I do not, just because of the sheer fact that I have been so busy.
Sounds like it
this year, but I didn't really play to. I mean, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I was okay, but I really
already
played
better than me then.
I really just played because I liked the family structure, and I liked having all the friends on the baseball team. And that was actually the very first year I'd ever played baseball, and the guys were great. So
going to the U of A?
Yeah, I'm hoping to go to the U of A.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
No, Moreno's down there near Tucson.
Yeah. It's only like a 30-minute drive, so it'll be close to mom.
She'll keep an eye on you. We're talking with Kyle Hoy, who has done great work. Your principal says great things about you. Principal Doty, still in charge down there?
Actually, this is his last year as principal.
Okay.
There's a new principal next year.
And I would imagine you hear a principal speak about some of even like the freshmen in your school who have spoken about you in articles. I read quotes from a young lady, a freshman, saying, he's inspired me to do extra things and do extra work. That's got to make you feel good.
Yeah, I always love that feeling of accomplishment that I've helped someone or that I've done something. And when people tell me it's just skyrockets everything, because I don't do it for rewards. I had no idea.
It's kind of a military way, isn't it?
Yeah, I had no idea I was actually in the running for an award until I won. They didn't tell me because they're the ones that nominated me. But I really, if I wouldn't have gotten anything, no trip to D.C., I'd still be doing the exact same thing I'm doing.
Which is a testimony on why you do it, isn't it, Gracie?
That's here.
There she is.
What do we got?
That's my girlfriend. Right
wow.
There. And my sister on the left.
You're right. She is hot.
She is going to be pissed. Worth
nice
it, though.
going.
Worth it.
That's go ahead, and I mean it right there.
0-2 the count.
She is a huge Diamondbacks fan, too. So.
Well, what happens?
She's got good taste in men and in baseball teams.
Well, she is, and you are both fortunate, and for you, I would imagine, too, a learning experience that no child really chooses, but yet proud of what your father has accomplished.
Yeah, that's generally that's. I make sure that I tell all the kids that when I'm doing, whether it's a class or whatever it may be, that they need to be, instead of being mad or sad, they need to be proud.
Young man, you exude class.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure.
What an honor. Happy Memorial Day. We mean it in every sense of the word. Kyle Hoy, the Army Child of the Year, one of 1,400 nominated. He deservedly received his honor. The deployment kid, using his head and his heart. against Stephen Drew. I want to thank Kyle for stopping by and sharing his story with us. Kyle Hoy, what a first-class young man. His parents should be proud. As proud as he is of his parents, they should be more proud of him. As that one is low, 2-0 the count. Well, it's officially time to add on again.
Well, can't really say that the Diamondbacks haven't done a good job of swinging the bats. They've got 9 hits through 4 innings and have put 5 on the board, but one big swing of the bat from Marlins first baseman Gabby Sanchez got them right back in this game.
Outside, there's a base runner. Hey, don't forget, if you're between the ages of 10 and 14 and you'd love to call a game, an inning of a ball game on the air with us, stop on by the Chase Field Plaza tomorrow between 5 and 7 or log on to kidcaster.com. Oh, yes, we're holding auditions again. The Kidcaster, we'd love to have you on there.
And Kyle was officially big league.
Oh, my goodness.
What? That was an impressive young man. Looking forward to the next Kidcaster, though.
Four runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Marlins. 5 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Diamondbacks. Now, San Francisco today has already beaten St. Louis 7-3, so that means there's a virtual tie right now within the division. Arizona will decide if they will finish tonight in second place or in first all alone again.
That looks nice, doesn't it? Looking down on the rest of the division. San Diego a winner today at Atlanta. Dodgers are out in front of Colorado as we speak, 4-1 in the 5th inning.
Boy, he got away with a hanging breaking ball. Young would love another shot at this one.
He just couldn't wait back long enough. Oh, baby, look at that one right there. Those were so much fun to hit, folks. And you hate to let one get past and not put a hurting on it because you're probably not going to see another one in the same at-bat.
0-2 the count. Bouncing ball to the hole. All the way to third goes Drew. Young committed to just pulling that baseball, and he did. Found left field.
Stephen Drew was running on the pitch, got a great jump, and that just made the shortstop Bonifacio freeze just enough for that ball to get by. Watch Bonifacio freeze just enough when he saw the runner was going. And now Drew going all the way to third base on a base hit to left. So, as you said, the Diamondbacks turn to add on again. And they're off to a pretty good start here. Miguel Montero an opportunity to extend the lead here in the 5th.
And he can do it with the homer.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Miguel digs in. He's got 5 home runs on the year. He's about to hit number 6.
Good
nasty
fastball on that one. Buckled the knees of Miguel Montero. Now, don't go water the plants, folks. Because Darren Sutton is, well, he's guaranteed that Miguel Montero, for the 3rd time, is going to homer.
The 0-1. Oh, boy.
That was almost a homer.
0-2 the count. Looked like he changed up on him there.
And that was a very good change up that time, Montero. That's a great shot. Like, what am I doing? Yeah, you call yourself a lot of names at that when you swing at a pitch like that when it's 1st and 3rd, nobody out. Oh, you should have heard the things I called myself, Darren.
You had some names for yourself, did you?
Oh yeah.
Did the crowd mic pick them up or no?
No,
okay.
The crowd mic didn't pick.
0-2 the count. Into the dirt. 1-2 the count.
John Buck had to make a nice snare of a would-be wild pitch. He didn't really go down to block it. He just kind of reached and it went right into his glove, fortunately for him.
Going on down there in the bullpen action, Randy Choate, the veteran left-hander.
Former Diamondback Randy Choate. Still hanging around. Doing good work for these Florida Marlins.
Bouncing ball to the right. There's one. Quick turn off the bag. Fielder's choice and an RBI. Instead of it being a double play, Miguel's got himself an RBI. He's got 2 driven in, reaching on a fielder's choice, and Steven scores it. There's a bit of an add-on. 6 runs. Tacos, by the way.
Credit Chris Young for going in hard at second base and just getting in the face of Emilio Bonifacio enough to force the wide throw.
Oh, boy.
I think the D-backs got a monster break right there. It looked like Gabby Sanchez kept that foot on the bag just long enough. There was no argument from Sanchez.
No argument at all. There you go. That ball's in the glove. His foot is on the bag. Taco time, Gracie. 6 runs.
Patriotic and structured family. That's because his father Robert spent a great deal of World War II in the Navy on the Mighty Mo, the USS Missouri, the destroyer that actually on September 2nd, 1945 was the site of Japan signing the Treaty of Surrender. So he says that every time he hears the national anthem, it means a great deal to him, and it's obviously a special day here on Memorial Day. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Brad. Good stuff. And that's several good things today you brought to the table. We appreciate that. And no surprise, Kirk Gibson takes time on days like today to be very reflective and prepared, too, when he shares thoughts with the media. He was so on Jackie Robinson today, and for a much closer to home reason because of his father, he was so today on Memorial Day. Kirk Gibson's an old-fashioned ball player, as we saw the numbers for Randy Choate. Every way, sense, and stretch of the imagination.
Well, he's a baseball historian, but he's also a history
That's exactly
buff.
right.
As far as the world history, American history.
He's very respectful for those that came before him. Chop to the right side. And I got a piece of my foot there. Miranda saying, I got my foot, and he did. It looked like he did.
Oh, man. So we get free taco packets.
No, we get 3 free tacos. You pick your sauce.
Oh, okay.
If you like the fire, the mild, or just the hot.
Boy, you and Daniel Hudson were just furious with those taco packets.
Oh, the actual mascot taco packets.
Oh, boy, I've never seen 2 madder gentlemen than Daniel Hudson and Darren Sutton. When those taco packets ran in front of his warm-up pitches.
Fouled that one to the right side. 1-2 the count. Now they get tacos here. This is just really absurd. I mean, not on the track. And then, you know, Daniel Hudson, he's in the big leagues trying to get ready to face a major league team. Watch Miguel Montero. Hold on.
Hey. Oh. I don't know. If you were fortunate enough to be watching that night, folks, just missed down 2-2. The only person more upset than Daniel Hudson about that was my partner, Darren Sutton. Furious.
2-2 the count. Montero's since May 17th hitting .340 and doing a lot of damage. 14 of his last 41. Outside. Boy, tough take.
Good at bat right now for Miranda. As you said, a couple of tough takes. And I would imagine a fastball coming here on 3-2. We've seen Juan Miranda handle lefties okay. But this is one of those side wheeling lefties you just don't see very often.
Fights it off into left field. Nearly dropped it in. Had the right idea. I mean, my goodness, almost did it again. But it just hung up too long. Ball was in on his knuckles as he fought that one off. Miranda, Gracie, he's 7 of 20 against left-handed pitching this year. I was thinking, as you said, they haven't seen many. They certainly haven't faced many. There's a guy down in their own bullpen who's being cursed at by the other dugout, Joe Patterson, with that side-wheeling delivery. Nobody likes it.
Yeah, you just don't see very many. Nothing traditional at all about Randy Choate, Joe Patterson. That's Esmeling Vasquez.
Here's Gerardo Parra. Oh, 0-1 the count. Parra this year, not quite the success that Miranda has experienced. 9 of 39 against Southpaws.
He was thinking about taking a bunt with him. With 2 outs. Not going to drive anybody in with a bunt. I'd like to see him maybe standing there and maybe try and drive it in the gap.
I'm a big fan of that, much more so than a bunt, especially with 2 outs with the pitcher on deck.
Exactly.
0-1 the count. Breaking ball. And Parra is erased. We roll on 6-4. The Arizona adds on a run. They're up by a pair. These game summary. Gerardo Parra the other way. Out of here. Up and over that yellow line. No doubt on this one. Kelly Johnson Couple of runs across the plate, then a little swinging bunt plate to run. That's Chris Young. That's an RBI. Miguel Montero slaps one the other way. In all, Arizona got very busy in that inning. 4 runs across the plate. You bet, Skipper. Some homers, some contacts, some little ball along with it. And the Arizona Diamondbacks, those are the homers, though, that got this club buying into the comeback. The home runs by Kelly Johnson and Gerardo Parra. As Joe Saunders completes his warm-up tosses. That is our Mercedes-Benz game summary. Joe's been good enough. I mean, Joe has been good enough. Our CenturyLink high-speed pitch brought to you by CenturyLink high-speed internet.
He's been good enough, you're right. And he found a huge way to pitch out of a jam in the first inning and put up a 0. That big 2-run homer from Gabby Sanchez got these fish thinking they can maybe steal one here.
Big swing by John Buck there.
He was trying to hit that one into Friday's front row.
Wyoming born and raised John Buck.
Kind of sounds like a Wyoming man, doesn't it?
To the right side. Kelly on to Juan Miranda, and in time for the out. 4-3 if you're scoring at home. John Buck is 0 for 3. Southwest Airlines presents our pitch count, 82. And
pretty efficient.
Total. Sure. Chris Coughlin. Again, as we told you, if you're just joining us, we know it's a holiday, so you might be in and out of the house and just stopping by briefly to see what's going on. Florida's a very good team, and they have played at times in anonymity in South Florida, but they're 30-21. Better said, they're 16-9 on the road.
Well, they've got some history, too. They've got 2 world championships.
You bet.
For a quote-unquote expansion team.
And when I say anonymity, I mean at the turnstiles in their own ballpark. People watch their shows down there.
They watch them on TV. They just don't watch them live. Well, they play in a terrible baseball stadium.
They do, and it's the last year.
It's a very good football stadium.
It's the last year, and good for South Florida.
But as much as it rains in South Florida, they need a place like this. It's got a top on it.
A little chopper. Thought about the bare hand instead. He let the second baseman make the play. Smart play there.
Veteran play
by
there
Joe Saunders.
Very well said, Darren. Thought about sticking that bare meat hook out there and then jerked it back last second. I'm going to get it with nope, not going to do it. Smart play.
We've got a pinch hitter to announce. We quickly remind you can win tickets to Major League Baseball's Fan Fest. Watch Diamondbacks baseball on Fox Sports Arizona during June for the Fan Fest word of the game. Look for the keyword during the broadcast and go to foxsportsarizona.com to enter. It all starts on Wednesday. We're giving away tickets to the Fan Fest, the word of the game.
Have you ever seen a pinch hitter be a pitcher?
No.
Unless it was Micah Owings?
Unless it was Micah Owings. Rare that you see that. This was being discussed before the game because there were a couple of key players down tonight.
Former Diamondback Javier Vasquez going to go up and take his cracks. He's hitting for Randy Choate.
3 of 15 with a bat in his hand this year. He does have an RBI. As he pops that one foul. Vasquez was told before the game, be ready. Because of the couple of players we are short, you just may hit for us. Vasquez in his career, a 206 hitter. And he rolls that one foul.
Oh, man, what a good play down there. That's third base coach Joe Espada.
Well, he did dig it out nicely, didn't he?
Boy, showing up our guy, Matt Williams.
Well, that's not really hard to do these days.
I hate to say it, but our job is to tell the truth. And we don't do that very often either, do we?
Oh, boy.
Oh, poor Matty.
The 1-2. That one sails outside from Saunders. 2-2 the count. Last year didn't hit at all with the Yankees. Just had one at bat. Had a 68 at bats the year before in Atlanta, 12 of 68. The 2-2. Vasquez.
He's putting in that bat on Joe Saunders.
He's hanging around. He's 0 for 2 career as a pinch hitter. And he fouls it off.
Looking hitterish, isn't he?
Saunders at 92 pitches as he works here in the top of the 6th inning. And he is due to lead it off. They're going to look to get him through this batter, though. Now he may be done. Vasquez goes down on strikes. Like us on Facebook during this afternoon's game or receive a huge coupon for savings. Prize, fresh food, famous low prices. Sanderson Ford, Arizona's largest Ford dealership. Quikrete, for affordable home improvement projects, visit quikrete.com. Quikrete, it's what America's made of. And you, our viewers, you are what America is made of as well, as we welcome you back. You and your family, your friends, and your loved ones. This is a holiday, and certainly glad that you have spent a portion of your holiday with us. Those family members of the Arizona National Guard, Brad Stanky, Jody Jackson, Todd Walsh, Mark Grace, my name is Darren Sutton, and you. Thank you for inviting us into your home. Ryan Webb, the big, tall drink of water, the right-hander, the one-time San Diego Padre, part of our Verizon Wireless call to the bullpen.
Big, hard-throwing sinker baller. Joe Saunders' day is done. And Sean Burrow's going to hit for him.
7 strikeouts for Joe.
I thought Joe threw the ball very well. He got through that first inning. That was the biggest thing, Darren. I mean, these Marlins can hit.
Oh, you bet
it's
they
not
can
like
hit.
You're just going to go out there against a bunch of chopped liver minor leaguers. These guys are a good offensive squad.
30-year-old Sean Burroughs, who, since coming back to the big leagues after a long absence, has been almost primarily a pinch hitter for Kirk Gibson's squad, and I would imagine will remain so. He has 2 of his last 4 as a pinch hitter.
Oh, almost got him. He's still quick.
He hops out of the way, does Burroughs. This Marlins bullpen is good. As you see, Webb backing him out of the batter's box. But San Diego's bullpen the best. Atlanta's is next, and then not too far behind you find the Florida Marlins and their bullpen. That's part of the story for Florida. Look at the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Playing much better baseball. Good for them.
Burroughs into the seats it goes. I know we're excited to head back out to Pittsburgh, PA.
I like that town. I like the people there.
With the good folks, the good fans, and a Permane Brothers sandwich.
With the fries right on there.
Oh, and the coleslaw and the sausage. Good at 2 in the afternoon and 2 in the morning. 2-2 the count. In on the hands, Burrows busts that one into the seats. It goes. Ryan Webb was part of the winter deal. You've already seen the Diamondbacks play San Diego, and you remember some of the damage Cameron Maben has done. Well, Maben, he went from Florida, and back the other way came a couple of relievers, Webb and Edward Mujica, who you may remember, former Padre. Oh boy.
Goodness. What a pitch.
Nasty breaking ball. And that'll do it for Mr. Burrows. And now Kelly Johnson. Struck out, doubled, but also our Jazz Roberts air conditioning cool play. No doubter.
Crushed.
So here's Haught hitting. That one is inside. 1-0 the count. Six to 4, Arizona leads it. They've won 14 of their last 16.
Oh man, that looked like a changeup. It was a changeup, and it was a dandy.
Mine's a big guy, 6'6", about 230. His dad, Hank Webb, pitched in the majors for the Mets in the 70s. That one is into the dirt. It goes. His arm angle, Webb's a little bit higher now, using his leverage a little bit more. The 2-1 to Kelly.
Boy, somehow, some way that wasn't a strike, but now it's 3-1 on that changeup. Guess it was called up. Pretty good pitch. And there's that good sinker from Webb.
Just a little more arm angle.
Most of the Webb sinkers, you think of his brother Brandon Webb, who's now in the Texas organization. But no, this is Ryan.
Right there. There's no relation between the two. The 3-2. High drive. Kelly. Did he do it again? You betcha. Goodbye. Fulton Homes homer, $150 to the Central Arizona Mountain Rescue Association. Arizona 7, Florida 4.
Another long home run. About 10 rows back in left center field, way out of here. My goodness. Kelly Johnson.
Seventh time in his career he has had multiple home runs in a game.
Also, the same guy that got an off day yesterday. Kirk Gibson gave him an off day yesterday. Didn't use him as a pinch hitter, just rested him. And he's come out smoking here tonight. A couple nights earlier, Justin Upton got an off day. Get a mental and physical rest. Justin Upton's pretty hot since then as well. It's all part of the big picture that Kirk Gibson thinks about.
Two and one the count.
Well, he's smoking.
What's going on over there?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Darren, because I want to tell you about Baxter's birthday.
Really now?
On Sunday, June 5th, to celebrate, the first 5,000 kids are going to take home a Deed Baxter drawstring bag, courtesy of Chevrolet. For tickets, visit dbacks.com/Baxter or call 602-462-4794.
Look at that drawback.
Ah, that is
right there.
That's all about Baxter.
You load it up. I like it. Upton shoots that one off the facing of the dugout.
Well, you could be one of those hand models.
Boy, that is great. I love this thing. Yep, I'm keeping this.
It's good to be back with Baxter. Junction Jack just wasn't doing it for us in Houston.
Wasn't doing it for us. Upton, hot shot, base hit. He's doing it for all the Diamondback fans. A 4-hit day for Justin Upton. 5 is his career high. He reaches 4.
Just picked out a fastball in the middle of the plate and just rips it. Past a sprawling Greg Dobbs at third base. And Diamondbacks already with 12 hits here through 5 2/3.
Golly, Justin Upton, Gracie. Goodness. Steven on Saturday had a 4-hit game. That one is chopped foul.
See if Eric Young's got anything on big Ryan Webb. Maybe have Justin Upton on the move. He's pretty quick to the plate.
So I quickly mentioned that Justin's career high in a game is 5 hits. That he did it back in September of 2009. He's only gotten 4 more hits 4 times coming into tonight. This is one of the best games with regard to hit total of his career. 3 other times he has had 4 hits in a game. By the way, that 5-hit game was the last time he reached 4 or more. So folks, it's been about a season and a half since he had a hit total game like this one. He has been sporting that smile the entire game. Seven to 4, Arizona leads it. Stephen Drew, a thing of beauty as he pops that one the other way. Kept the feet on balance enough to just serve a line drive. Not well struck, but struck well enough to get through the hole.
Well, Bonifacio is playing him to pull, and all he does is just poke it through the left side. That's all it takes. Just poke it through the left side. Well, it's just nice. Stephen Drew, another guy that got an off day yesterday. Wasn't used at all. He's got a 2-hit game.
Just got a note, by the way, from a big Baxter fan.
Really? What's going on?
Watching online in Los Angeles. John Reynolds has sent us a note.
Oh, really? What's going on with John? We love him.
He says he loves Baxter. He can't wait to see him. He said, I miss him. So we are hoping that the next time we see John in Los Angeles, we'll bring Baxter with us. Certainly bring JR about a dozen of those drawstring bags if we get our hands on them.
He will love them.
That pitch is high. 1-0 the count. A lot of Baxter fans out there, and understandably so. Ralph Kelso, one of our fine camera operators. He is the president of the D. Baxter Fan Club.
Nonprofit organization.
Is it now? That's great. The 1-0 to Chris Young. Beaten with the fastball, pops it up. Oh, boy. Drops down below. 1-1. Trying to add on. Young singled a couple of times and popped up to second base. Fans watching all over these Diamondbacks, all over the country. Huge jump up and it's thrown away.
They both took off early. Upton leading the charge. Drew right behind. Webb stunned by it all, threw it away. And honestly, I think Upton would have been safe with an accurate throw. We'll see, though. Stolen base and an error on the pitcher.
Boy, Justin just says heck with it. And he catches Dobbs and Webb by surprise. The ball, the runner, and the third baseman all get there at the same time. And Justin Upton just legitimately stole a run for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Wow. Look at Gibby. Those are the kind of things Kirk Gibson did as a player.
Runner at third, 2 outs. Back to the screen, got away with a hanging slider.
And Kirk Gibson told us yesterday just how proud he is of these guys. But he's going to keep pushing them. He's not going to let them get big-headed. He's going to continue to push them.
Now, there are a couple of technical things they'll be working on tomorrow, and then a separate workout on Wednesday, by possibly bringing over some of the extended spring training players to work out with the Diamondbacks. That one is outside.
That shot we just had at Gibby. It looks like you or me when your kid brings home straight A's.
You bet.
I mean, he's just a very proud man right there of his ball club.
He is expecting extra work, not satisfaction. They have had behind closed doors moments of brief celebration. A pat on the back to a player here or a coach there. They've been behind closed doors. Never have they shown up an opposing team. But he'll take about 5 minutes to giggle, laugh, say job well done, then it's back to work. That's high. That's a great at bat for Young. A great at bat. He's been on 3 times. We'll be back with you tomorrow night.
What time?
That's a good question.
Because we've got 3 different starting times in this series.
We're on the air at 6 o'clock. And the game time is at 6:40. This, for me, is the pitching matchup of the series. Anibal Sanchez against Ian Kennedy.
2 red-hot pitchers.
So that we will have for you. If you're watching at home, great, make time, appointment viewing. If not, get down here, because you're seeing now at home a little bit about that. You're seeing a little bit about what this team is doing, and now they're doing it at home. Now you can come see them. That Justin Upton play kind of exemplifies it. Kelly Johnson starting to get hot. It's a brand of baseball that you hoped you would see, and you felt you were owed, I think, after the last couple of years, but it's been enjoyable to watch.
But they're starting to take the personality of their leaders. And I'm not just saying Kirk Gibson. I'm talking about Alan Trammell. I'm talking about Matt Williams, Eric Young, Don Baylor. These are all guys that had stellar careers. Alan Trammell. Eric Young was one of the best thieves, stolen base-wise, that I ever played against. And you're seeing his personality start to show up in these guys that are base stealers. And Miguel Montero is going to have to homer here sometime soon, folks. Oh, that was a mighty rip at that one. He was trying to take care of you, Darren Sutton.
Well, I had a feeling. Turns out it might have just been my pregame meal. 0-1 the count. This bat goes on. I want to further a point you were making. Young takes off. It's a stolen base standing up. So that is 3 stolen bases in the inning for the Diamondbacks. There was also an error to allow a run to score. But for Young, that is 6 stolen bases. The proverbial Eric Young shot. Understandably so. I think he had something on it.
Oh, I think you're right. It doesn't take him very long.
Miranda waits in the on-deck circle. Matt Williams keeping an eye on both base runners. I want to know if he went around. He did not. Webb visibly hands out by his side, disagreeing with that call.
Oh,
and I don't blame him. Why. I don't blame him. 2-1 the count.
Taking a peek in. Well, the suite out in right field are family members of the Arizona National Guard that are visiting tonight. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Just a quick point about the coaches. As you said, they're taking on the personality. The one thing I think needs to be made clear is they all trust one another, they respect one another, but they have different opinions and they listen to each other. It has not been all harmony the entire time. There have been healthy disagreements. Healthy
That's the way it should be.
And
it shouldn't be that you all have to bow down to the manager.
No, it's not. He respects
Gibby
them.
understands that.
Miguel Montero, high drive. Get up! Get up! Come on! I told you, folks. I got your back, Miggy. 11-4. Boy, it's a Memorial Day party at the ballpark.
Very impressive. This Diamondback team. And, of course, my partner calling homers this year.
No.
Nice grab out there as well.
11-4, a 5-run 6th inning. A high strike to Juan Miranda. Fulton Holmes homer, $150 to the Central Arizona Mountain Rescue Association.
I'll tell you what, our broadcasters tonight are just red hot. You calling Miggy's shots? How about Brad Steinke talking about Kelly Johnson and his batting practice?
Oh, you bet. Yeah, Brad saw a jaw-dropping batting practice. And you called out for pizza that's coming here in a few minutes.
Well, that's true.
So we appreciate that.
That's always a safe call.
That one is inside. 2-1 to count.
Now, if we could just get Joe Borowski.
To do what?
No.
We got him. He's on our team.
Yeah, it's good. I'm glad he's going to start traveling with us as well. If we just get him to start traveling with us.
Swing and a miss. Juan Miranda.
Can add a lot to these road trips.
Just got word in my ear that that's not the case and it won't be happening. I was also reminded that Ryan Webb is not related to Brandon Webb. Those are a couple of things to share with you. And by the way, Sean Burroughs may get to hit again this inning.
I was going to say.
Nothing better than being a pinch hitter, being a little frustrated, having your teammates pick you up, and then getting to hit again. You saw him in that shot. He's in the hole.
Well, if it does happen, he's got that awful opportunity to make 2 outs in 1 inning. And I've been there. It's a bad feeling.
2-2 the count, 11-4 the score. Inside.
Ryan Webb displeased again.
He's having one of those innings.
Yeah. 5 have come across. He thought this thing got the inside corner. It's close. He was starting to walk to the visiting dugout.
The 3-2. So we'll do it one more time.
Those awful innings where you end up making 2 outs in 1 inning. You score like 8 runs, something like that, and you had nothing to do with it. Or those 20-3 ball games where the team gets 25 hits and you don't get nary one of them. Those are always fun.
3-2 the count. That pitch is high. Arizona's 6th 10-run game this season. 6 times they have moved into double digits, tied with Philly, Kansas City, and Texas. We're doing it the most. Gerardo Parra now with Burroughs on deck. Webb has had to throw 40 pitches. And this is twice that this club has sent all 9 batters to hit in an inning. They did it in the 3rd, now here in the 6th inning. Five RBIs for Montero, tying a career high. The only other time back in 08 at Houston. He hit a big bomb to right field in that game, I remember. Maybe 2. Swing and a miss.
Oh, I think Webb just hurt himself. I think Ryan Webb just hurt himself. Oh, boy. Either his knee or his ankle or something.
Yeah, he hopped and responded not comfortably. Remember the training staff, pitching coach Randy Sinclair.
He's already fit to be tied out there right now. Yeah. Oh, boy. Let's hope this is not adding injury to insult here.
Mike Dunn, the tough left-hander, warming in the pen. Says, I'm all right. Let me see if I can work through it. Like Sean Cunningham, head athletic trainer, was out with pitching coach Randy St. Clair. In on the hands, chopped into the camera well by the visiting dugout.
Well, what do you think that was with Webb?
Had to be something in the leg, something in the ankle.
Jolt.
Yeah, I think so.
You ever have a knee just go out? Or
I have.
Yeah.
Then lock back in. Boy, look at EY.
Boy, EY making a play, ranging a long way to his left.
And look at the young child got the ball down there, as it should be.
It's not the way they do it in Houston.
No, it's not the way they do it in Houston. Mascots interrupt games.
Adults steal baseballs from kids.
Swing and a miss. Parra hops out of there like he's not comfortable. A huge inning for the Diamondbacks. Miguel Montero. Turns out it wasn't the pregame meal. Had a feeling he'd homer.
Just want to say thank you, and my heart goes out to all the families that lost loved ones overseas. Really appreciate everything they've done for us to give us the great ability to come out here and play this game. Thank you very much.
There are families of the Arizona National Guard that are joining us tonight. We are honored to have them. Fox Sports Arizona, the Arizona Diamondbacks. And, of course, made possible by Sanderson Ford and Fries. They make it possible for us to stay during a couple of commercial breaks. And we like that. As we've had some great conversations as Esperling Vasquez takes the rock and he rolls now. Or at least he hopes to for the Arizona Diamondbacks.
And when Esperling's throwing strikes, he's getting people out.
Saunders 6 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs earned, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. ERA of 4.77 upon completion of the game. Our Verizon numbers for Esperling Vasquez, a 3.3 ERA. As that one is inside.
Esperling in danger of walking that leadoff man again here this evening. He had a rough outing his last outing in Houston, and it all started with a leadoff walk. Ended up giving up a couple of runs.
The right-hander rocks and fires, and there's a strike with some sink on it over the outside. He gave up a couple of runs. Was clean in the outing before that at Colorado. Seen his ERA vary between 2.25 and 3.3 this season. Inside, leadoff walk. Help Fox supports Arizona and Donate Life Arizona reach our goal of 2,000 new registered organ and tissue donors. Visit donatelifeaz.org to register. Omar Infante now. Pitch is low, 1-0 the count.
For some reason, it just seems like Esperling has a tough time getting out of the gate, if you will. Usually a lot of the walks that he's had this year have come to the very first batter he faces. And if he's gonna pitch in bigger situations, that's gonna have to change.
This is his 17th appearance. In the previous 16 appearances against first batters, there have been 5 hits and 3 walks. And that's an on base of 421.
Yeah, that's not counting the one.
And then add another
right.
one. So an on base of about 450 against the first batter that he faces. 1-1 the count. Omar Infante in on his hands, and that one is rolled up the third base line.
Because the stuff is just way too good to be walking leadoff men.
1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Last year had an ERA of over 5. That one out front of it. Infante. Bonifacio's been on 3 times, by the way. Infante's been on twice. Omar, native of Venezuela, former Tiger. We mentioned came over in that deal with the Braves this winter. Popped up left field. Here comes Parra. Still coming. It's in there for a Texas leaguer. So a walk and then a broken bat. A pitch that was up, and he was strong enough to muscle it into left field and pick up a base hit. Here in the top of the 7th inning, 2-on.
Left fielder Logan Morrison.
And now Logan Morrison walked back in the first inning, struck out, singled, and scored. Marlins 22nd round pick in 05, Maple Woods Community College.
Scouting is an inexact science, isn't it, Darren?
Isn't that amazing? I think Albert Pujols went to Maple Woods. High pop, yes he did. Into left center field. And Gerardo Parra is there to put it away. So now Gabby Sanchez hit a 2-run homer back in the 5th inning. Philadelphia Phillies defeated the Washington Nationals today by a score of 5-4. That's who the Florida Marlins are trying to catch. those Philadelphia Phillies. Find themselves in a pretty good position to do so. Tough night tonight. Curveball. Missed inside. But with that Philadelphia win, there's your difference. Atlanta, of course, a team that expects to be in the conversation all year long.
Good fastball there on the inside corner. Gabby Sanchez. Well, he just gets in there. He drops anchor and he just does not move, does he? Well, that time he moved.
He had to that time, didn't he? Gabby last year was 5 of 17 against Arizona, walked 3 times, so reached base about 43% of the time against the Diamondbacks. It's a road trip to San Francisco, LA, and Arizona. 3-city trip. Bouncing ball. Steven, Kelly, Juan, double play. So Arizona on this Memorial Day weekend, as we stand up and stretch about, it is this that got folks already standing and thrilled about it.
We pay tribute to our great nation with the singing of God Bless America.
Anderson Ford. We're getting set for Diamondbacks Live, presented by CenturyLink. Todd Walsh along with Joe Borowski. The post-game show coming up in a bit. And Joe, You're the one that's always coming up with the content, the material for the postgame show. I'm going to reverse the field for just a second. I have a theory. Teams that are in first place, Joe, I don't care what the sport is, they start to act like it. They start to feel like it. They play like it. You've been on some first place teams. Am I right at all?
When you have the swagger like the Diamondbacks have right now, you create your own breaks, and that's what they're doing right now.
Do you mind that that's sort of a topic of conversation in segment 2 with the guys in the booth? Is that okay with you?
Absolutely. I think it's important to discuss what they're doing right now.
All right, you're all dialed in?
Absolutely. I'm ready to go.
Okay, guys, we'll send it back to you in the postgame show, if that's okay with you.
Oh, we love that idea.
Okay, all right.
We love that idea.
They're going to bring it.
We're ready. Great job so far tonight, guys. We're looking forward to that. And Xavier Nady gets ready to face this Florida bullpen. Tonight, this bullpen has given up 6 runs in 2 2/3. They'd given up 8 runs in their previous 27 2/3. And this is a guy that is no fun to face.
Because he's left-handed and he throws really hard.
Fireballer Mike Dunn. Nady takes inside. Xavier, the decisive hit yesterday.
Oh, yeah. The big double down the right field line.
They intentionally walked to get to him.
Yeah, they intentionally walked Chris Young. Put the go-ahead run on first base. Oh, what a pick.
Well, the numbers for Mike Dunn. A lot of strikeouts.
And a lot of walks.
And opponents hitting 110 against him. Pitches outside, 2-2 the count. This is yesterday. This is against Fulcino. Look at that shot of Ryan Roberts.
Come on. Get here, Chris.
Beats him up at third, and Nady is on. Xavier Nady with a hot shot and a single. Greg Dobbs had to get out of the way of that one.
He got undressed right here. Look out! Bullet off the bat of Nady. Swinging the bat really well is Nady. His batting average up to 282 now and an 8-game hitting streak. For a guy that's not playing every day, that's amazing.
We were talking about that yesterday.
I mean, the only way you're extending that hitting streak in this game is to get a hit right there.
Or it ends.
Yeah, or you're done. Pinch hitting.
Kelly takes a fastball from Dunn that misses away. Dunn a Yankee in the big leagues, then a Brave in the major leagues. And then a member of the Florida Marlins now this year as Kelly, hot shot down the line. It goes. It's in there. Nady's out front of the pack as it bangs against that wall. Matt Williams says, come on down. Johnson into third with a triple. Single away from the cycle is Kelly Johnson, if that in fact is a triple.
Well, I think you have to give it a triple.
It is a triple.
First pitch fastball, Kelly Johnson once again right on the barrel of the bat where he's been the last couple of weeks. Nady scoring all the way from first base as the relay is imperfect. Boy, these Diamondbacks, they have just been lighting it up.
That's Kelly hanging in there, tying his career high with that 4th hit against the lefty, a mid-90s throwing lefty.
All the extra base hits. 2 homers, a triple, a double. Gas right by Melvin Mora. Need to get some karma for Melvin. 16 hits tonight, and well, Melvin doesn't have nary a one of them. He's 0 for 4 tonight. So all you folks at home, think some good thoughts for Melvin Mora.
1 ball and 1 strike.
Let him get in the candy store.
Fights off a fastball.
I mean, he sees all his teammates in there. They're licking lollipops and eating Sour Patch Kids and the malt balls. Man, I want to have some of those too.
Infield drawing in.
Stephen Drew having milk duds.
And that helps things with the infield in at the cut of the grass for Melvin Mora.
Justin Upton's just had a pockets full of jawbreakers. He'd like to get in that candy store.
The 1-2. Long run and into the seats it goes. He keeps spoiling those good fastballs.
I mean, he's just out there on the sidewalk eating saltine crackers. Nothing wrong with saltine crackers, but they're not as fun and tasty as a good jujube.
The 1-2. In the left center field. Grab yourself a chocolate bar, Melvin Mora, and enjoy it. Grab yourself a chocolate bar.
The good folks at home gave him some good love, some good karma, and Eric Young and Melvin are having a good smile about it. It's just in front of the. And I love Logan Morrison right here. You're down by 9 runs, and you are selling it out right there. I love that from Logan Morrison. Big kudos to that young man. I guarantee you your pitcher loves that.
That's right.
Your manager, your coaches love that.
Oh, and 1 the count. Well, Melvin Mora is in. He is enjoying some sweets with his teammates now. Upton one time has had a 5-hit game in his career. That's his career high.
His favorite is candy corn.
Oh, my! Deep left field. What a night for the Diamondbacks. Into Fridays. A 5-hit game for Justin Upton. Season high in runs, season high in hits.
And I'm sorry, and it's going to get there. It's going to get there with D-back fans, but that is a curtain call right there. That's a curtain call moment right there.
I agree.
And it's going to get there.
And Willie Bloomquist took his time.
Exactly.
Hoping it would happen. He really took his time. Now, you folks at home, I would imagine, were standing and cheering. Oh, my goodness.
Well, it's a curtain call moment for a lot of reasons. First, because it went in a restaurant. Second of all, that's his 5th hit of the game.
Tying his career high, only the 2nd time he's done it. A 5-hit game.
But that's a curtain call moment. I mean, Gonzo took curtain calls when he doubled.
How do you do that from second?
Oh, he found a way.
0-2 the count.
If you were hitting behind him, you had to stay out of the box, and he'd stand out at second.
0-2 the count.
That's not true, folks. I'm just teasing Gonzo.
He goes down on strikes as Willie Bloomquist, who had hit for Stephen Drew.
Center fielder, Chris Young.
Justin Upton, a 5-hit night. Upton with 3 runs scored and 3 RBIs.
I don't think I ever had a box score that read 5-3-5-3.
No?
No.
That's popped up over. Good try there. Our APS Energy All-Stars. The whole team The whole team is allowed to be invited to the APS Energy All-Stars party.
Well, now we need Juan Miranda to get in there.
Nope, he's invited, though. Inside.
He's not.
He's basically hit 400 the last week.
Well, this team is rocking and rolling right now.
Golly. Kelly Johnson's batting average is up to 225. Justin Upton's up to 261.
Darren, I'll give you some food for thought that you can start looking up maybe between innings or start right now, or we can have our great statistician Kurt Zacher. Oh, I got this.
Coming back our way. Good try. You almost had it. Now you dropped it down below. What's your food for thought?
Let's just say of the 10 longest home runs hit this year, I would be willing to bet that 4 or 5 of them are off the bat of Justin Upton.
Well, this certainly was the case early in the year. I think you're excluding that one until it's officially measured. I think you're right on.
Well, I can
at least 3.
I can tell you it was like 540 feet. Golly. That's about 3 rows up Friday's front row. Right in the gumbo. Oh, they got great gumbo out there. Spilled it all over them.
Upton hit one earlier this year, 478 feet. He also has one 455 feet.
So we won't know that one until tomorrow?
That's correct. High pop.
That doesn't make much sense.
And that one is put away by the second baseman, Omar Infante. Also hit one 464 feet. 4 of the top 15 with that home run.
4 of the top 15.
Because that one will be in one of the top 15.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question.
I think it has a chance. Prince Fielder has hit the longest home run of the year, 486 feet.
Golly.
And I think he has a chance to best that 486 feet.
With that one? I don't know. I'm going to say it's going to fall short of 486. I'm going to say that one's falling just short. Because I think that ball, he's hit a couple balls that I think a little further than that. He hit a Fatburger ball earlier this year.
That one was 478 feet, the Fatburger ball.
Just to the right of Friday's front row.
I don't know, though.
You'll see Fatburger. He went out to Fatburger.
Do you remember when Mark Reynolds went up into that area?
Oh, yeah, I do.
That is, you go back, it's amazing if you were to go and just walk out in the bleachers and start walking up the aisle. Better yet, if you ever go to Fridays, go stand out there and then look out at home plate. Look out from the Fridays restaurant.
It's virtually, at least when I played, absolutely unreachable. But these guys are so doggone strong anymore.
By the way, our good friends with Fatburger provided all of the food for the Arizona National Guard and their families that are here tonight. We want to thank them for their generosity.
That is awesome. Thank you, guys.
15-4 the score. 0-2 the count. Hanging around Miguel Montero. So we'll do it again. Season high of runs, 15. Season high of hits, 18. This coming off a 6-1 road trip for the Diamondbacks. Breaking ball, ground ball over the head of Dunn. Fielding it, unable to do so. On a bare hand is Infante. So reaching is Miguel Montero. And that is a hit. 19 hits for the Diamondbacks.
That's going to have to be a hit. Even though Infante barehanded a ball that he probably could have used his glove. Montero doesn't run great, but I think he had plenty of time to just snare it with the glove and make the play. Instead, it's going to be an infield hit for Miguel Montero. And Juan Miranda.
Here you go again.
All right, here we go, folks.
Start naming candy.
Let's see, just because I eat all of the above.
Here is one. He is hitless in this game. Swing and a miss. Now, got to give him some props for a walk, though. I mean, he's reached.
Well, that's true, but doesn't count.
And that's just maybe getting just one little bite of a candy bar is all. And then they take it from you. That pitch sails outside. By the way, if he does get into, as my partner likes to call it, the candy store, that'll be 20 hits. That will tie a record for this team in a single game. They've done it 2 times. Last time, 2000.
It ain't but the 7th inning.
The club record for runs scored, 17. They've done that 4 times. The last time, 2002. Got a couple more runs to get before they get there. But the next hit will tie a team record. 1-2 the count. Juan Miranda. Had him out front, popped it up. It won't be this time for Miranda. He's reached on a walk, and his mates have a basket full of hits. And Justin Upton, speaking of basket, a basket full of French fries went a-flying on this one. Are you kidding me? To you by Gila River Casinos by heading out to Section 111 during regular season home games. Missed it while we were on the road. Certainly a great thing. We'll be out there doing a telecast here very soon. As Micah Owings takes the baseball. Won his start in Denver, Colorado a couple of days back and stayed on the roster when some decisions were made. Stayed up and worked out of the bullpen as he faces Mike Stanton. Let's bring Todd Walsh in. Todd, thanks for coming back with us. What do you have for us?
Well, guys, I've brought this before, but if you don't mind, there's something I'd like to share with you when you can. It's a letter that's been in my family really since 1945. It's a form letter from the White House and the office of the president at the time, Harry Truman, who sent this letter out to all those GIs that came back from World War II, saying basically, I extend the heartfelt thanks of a grateful nation. He also said something else, and I wanted to read it, and there's the letter. As one of the nation's finest, you undertook the most severe task one can be called upon to perform because you demonstrated the fortitude, resourcefulness, and calm judgment necessary to carry out that task. We now look to you for leadership and example in further exalting our country in peace. And it's that last portion of the letter, a short letter but to the point, as you would expect from Harry S. Truman, that just really hits at the core, I think, of that generation. They are called the greatest generation for a reason, and they really did set the table for the second half of the century. for the United States, and I think the rest of the world. My father would have been 99 years old. He was in the Army in World War II. He was 30 years old when he enlisted, but that's what people did then for that war and the fight that they were fighting. He never wanted to talk about World War II. Very rarely would he talk about the European theater, the Battle of Anzio that I know he was around in North Africa. But the one thing that he didn't hesitate to talk about when I was a kid in the early 70s, he thought that there shouldn't have been any wars after that one in World War II. So I just wanted to extend a tip of my own hat to my father and those great people that went over, and so many of them that never came back in World War II.
That's awesome, Todd.
And over the years here on this day and on some of those 4th of July shows, I've had a chance to wander around the stands when I used to do that here and found some World War II veterans that reminded me of so many of those great people, and I want them to know that I'm thinking about them today.
Thank you, Todd, for reminding us why we're all here today. Not just for a baseball game, but to celebrate our freedoms, and we really appreciate Todd sharing that with us.
That's a cool letter.
Golly. What an honor, and what an honor to be able, as Todd has done publicly, to take it on to generations to follow. I'm sure his father would be very proud that he's doing that. Here's Greg Dobbs. Pitches inside, hopping out of the way.
Greg Gibson was hopping out of the way of it.
Yes, he was. So Micah went 5 innings, gave up 4 hits, 1 run that was earned. What do you think of his outing? Start in Denver, Colorado.
I thought it was more than good enough. You know, it's a whole different game when your team's out there banging in runs like they are tonight. And what impressed me tonight was the first he gave up 2 runs, and the Diamondbacks came and scored 4 in the bottom of the 3rd inning to take it up 4-2. Well, he went out and had a 1-2-3 inning, a quick 1-2-3 inning, got his team back in quickly. And I thought the key tonight for Joe Saunders was that first inning. I mean, there's no question. Loaded the bases with nobody out, and then just mowed right through the heart of the order, put up a 0.
You know, we've seen a lot of great individual efforts tonight, but we're also seeing a good team effort. This team, it's developing into just that, a team. There's some good players on this team.
I'm going to ask you why.
Because
what are you seeing?
I see a lot more selflessness than I saw certainly in the last 2 years.
I agree.
I mean, a lot more. And it's cliche, and I could just say it and have no backup, but guys like Kelly Johnson understanding when it's their time to sit or when it's their time to play. Willie Bloomquist gets red hot, and instead of thinking, man, I'm red hot, why am I not out there today?
And a much deeper ball club.
Ryan Roberts.
There's 25 major leaguers on this club this year. That wasn't the case the last 3 years.
No.
The last 3 years, and all due respect to the guys I'm about to mention, but if Stephen Drew needed a day off, the replacement was Augie Ojeda. Now it's Willie Bloomquist. When an outfielder needed a day off, ex-Nady is out there playing. When it used to be Rusty Ryle, as that one skied to right field.
John Buck is erased.
Or Trent Oltgen. But these Diamondbacks, they've got major leaguers now. Major leaguers on their roster.
Guys with some wear on their tire as well.
Exactly.
That have been there before. Kevin Towers made it clear that's what he wanted. He needed guys that have had a little wear on their tire, that understood how to talk to guys that are still 2-3 years in. So that's one of my examples on why I think it's a team.
Absolutely. It's a deeper team, and I think because it's a deeper team, hence you get what you're talking about. Knowing when it's time to get your rest. And that a quality major league player is going to play in your place.
Kelly Johnson said it out loud yesterday. There wasn't a microphone around, but Kelly said to me, so much different than the last couple of years is everyone needs their ABs. And this is a direct quote. He said, Darren, everyone needs their ABs in this room, and it makes sense why they do. He said, I don't know how Kirk Gibson does it, but you look around me, and he mentioned some of those guys, and that was the quote. Everyone needs their ABs in this room, and I understand why. That's a reason that a guy looks at me without a microphone around and is in a casual conversation describing his team by saying that.
And they're getting them. And like you said, and understanding that leads to the selflessness.
Is it perfect? No.
Of course
and as soon as someone tells you it is, then you're in big trouble. That man knows it's completely imperfect. Knows he is imperfect. I'll be the first to point out his weaknesses. That one has popped up. Whatever it is, whether it's a team officially or not, it's really fun to watch.
Marlins 15-4. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Jody Jackson back with you as we continue to salute our troops on this Memorial Day. I'm alongside Sean Valentine, who served in the Marine Corps. And Sean, your fiance, though, right now, Danae Brinkman, is currently deployed. You got some news recently, right, that she will be coming back in a while, right?
Yes, she'll actually be coming back. She will be landing in New Jersey December 20th.
What have been the biggest challenges? You have a household of 4 children. How difficult has it been having her be away?
It's difficult in the fact that you don't have another adult so you can kind of pawn the children off on. Having to take the full responsibility 24/7 is kind of difficult, yes.
How often do you get to speak with her?
We actually text message and can email quite often. On the phone we get to talk like every 3 or 4 days.
And for you, being formerly serving in the Marine Corps, and that comes from your family background, right?
Yes, we have actually a lot of family members that have served in the military. We kind of consider it a tradition to continue the service.
I know you and I talked a little bit off camera about the anxiety when you have a loved one deployed. I mean, what does this day, Memorial Day, mean to you?
Well, actually, it's kind of a privilege to have so many people overseas that don't even know who hundreds of millions of people are in the United States, and they're over there fighting for our own freedoms. So I feel very honored that they're over there doing that for us.
You've been sharing stories with others here today. Has that been kind of comforting to be around other military families?
It is, actually, especially when some of them are so close to you. And I just found out that a lot of them have a tendency to get together and kind of console each other in the times of their needs and everything.
All right, Sean, thank you so much for being here today.
No problem. Thank you.
All right, guys, back over to you.
Jody, thank you very much. Wonderful stuff. And we thank for their service all of those that have joined us this evening and their family members. And of course, messages on the bottom of the screen from our viewers out to loved ones. That one is rolled foul. Leo Nunez. The right-hander goes to work. Nunez in to get some work. And he's got 18 saves to lead the majors. Whoops, a little slip there as that one sailed high and away. Zach Kroenke warms in the bullpen, the Nebraska Cornhusker. The 2-2. Right back through the middle of the box. Setting, firing, and making the play over to Big Tex. Wes Helms, who is in at first, the new first baseman.
Now, good friend of the show, Wes Helms.
And here is Xavier Nady. Kelly Johnson waits on deck. Don't go anywhere because Kelly Johnson is a single away from hitting for the cycle. Last year, Kelly Johnson hit for the cycle in a loss, a Diamondbacks loss. And it provided a very interesting and, for some who look back on it, turning point moment for Kirk Gibson as a manager and for Kelly as a baseball player. 0-1 the count. There was a small amount of congratulations for Kelly in the locker room.
Well, because you lost.
Caught the eye of the skipper. And he pointed out to everyone in this room, there are other times to congratulate any sort of an individual experience. He was trying to begin laying a new foundation. As that one has popped up. And unfortunately, when you have to lay a new foundation, you have to jackhammer the old one.
It's true.
And this was part of the jackhammering. He pointed out that this occurred in a loss, and that there is nothing to celebrate in a loss. As a matter of fact, there was some of the play of Kelly that might have contributed to the loss. So while he did hit for the cycle, we lost tonight, guys. Wasn't it interesting? He has a chance less than a year later. As that one is rolled foul. Gibson vividly remembers it. Kelly vividly remembers it. Neither one of them, and understandably so, want to talk about it in depth.
Well, and at the end of the day, manager and player, you don't have to be friends.
Absolutely not.
But you have to be, one has to be the player and one has to be the manager.
Even if
it rubs you the wrong way once in a while.
Well, I think that was his goal a lot early on.
Your dad and Tommy Lasorda had all kinds of skirmishes.
They hardly ever got along.
Exactly. But they won together.
Oh, you bet.
And they respected each other.
Swing and a miss. So with that in mind, Kelly Johnson strides toward the plate. And he does so, looking to hit for the cycle.
And good for these guys. Fans giving him an ovation. I'd like to see a few more people get up.
It was July 23rd last season. Stephen Drew the last to do it prior to that. Greg Colburn did it in 2002 and Luis Gonzalez in 2000. Kelly fights off a fastball from the closer Nunez. Right back to the screen. 0-2 the count.
Good for Leo Nunez. He has challenged him. Back-to-back fastballs in the middle of the plate here. I'm not going to walk you.
It's been a lot of extra base hits. Looking, if he doesn't get a single, he drives one into the gap. It hasn't happened very often where a hitter has gotten 5 extra base hits in a game. Kelly Shopik the last to do it in 2008. Swing and a miss. This time Johnson goes down. Still a magical night for Kelly and his mates.
Reward seats, no blackout dates. Sonic, America's drive-in. It's new, it's better, it's the new Sonic Good. The new Quest 5-year price lock promise. Visit quest.com/promise for details. That's what I'm talking about. They're in the candy store.
Oh, yeah. No chance of them sleeping anytime soon. That's his Dachshund imitation.
Zach Kroenke goes to work, the left-hander. Pitched to the win on Saturday night behind Zach Duke. And Kroenke, like Micah Owings, on pins and needles when the Diamondbacks made a roster decision for a spot for Duke, and did so. I think Cam Michelio was another one in that decision, and Michelio was the one eventually sent down to AAA. A couple of long men, if you will, 2 long men make the team. As Big Tex, Wes Helms takes in 1-0 the count. He's been at it for a long time. Having a tough year, 10 of 50. He's been a great clubhouse guy and a bench player for these Marlins for about the last half decade. Come up with some big hits. 1-1 the count. Began his career as an Atlanta Brave. Played for the Milwaukee Brewers. And then down here to South Florida. Big Tex.
Nice. Had a good long career.
There's a base hit for the big fella.
Old Big Tex can still hit a hanging changeup.
Yes, he can.
And Kroenke lofted one in there, and it got smoked right out to left field. The big, tall Texan.
Well, he's actually from North Carolina. Gastonia, North Carolina. Great part of the country. Kevin Millwood is from that part of the country. Over here.
What? You're a beautiful lady, but what? I know what.
Maybe they have some sandwiches for us, I think.
I'm thinking maybe some jelly donuts would do me good.
Are you now?
Well, not afraid.
That one is high. 2-0 the count to Emilio Bonifacio. 15-4 Arizona. That one spins him out of there. Three and one the count. That pitch is high. It's ball 4.
All right.
Little momentum. Got to get it. Shut this ball game down. A good opportunity. All right.
There we go.
Here's Omar Infante. Fly ball center. Hara out there in center field. Fires it back into Bloomquist, who came on for Drew. So Infante is erased. Nady's out there in left field, by the way. We saw him earlier pinch hit. Pick up a base hit. Here's Logan. Arizona, if they can lock this ball game down, and they've got 2 outs to get, 11 runs to play with. Will have just 2 losses in their last 17 games. There's a strike over the outside corner to Logan Morrison. They will also maintain the top spot alone in the National League Western Division, despite San Francisco beating St. Louis 7-3. Breaking ball is rolled foul. Tonight, Los Angeles is beating up on Colorado. That game's almost over. 7-1 is the score in that one.
Colorado Rockies are having a very strange night, folks. I'm sorry. Yes, the Colorado Rockies. They've scored 1 run on 14 hits.
That game just went final. 1 run on 14 hits as that one has popped up. That game just went final as the Rockies finished tonight 1 for 12 with runners in scoring position.
1 run on 14 hits. That is hard to do. That's impossible. Congratulations, Colorado. That's terrible.
The Dodgers managed 7 runs on 11 hits as that one is a breaking ball. He did not go around. Chad Billingsley in that game went 7 innings, gave up 11 hits and just 1 run. You know what? He deserves that after giving up 1 hit and losing. He deserves that after giving up 1 hit and losing.
Josh Coleminter, you're right.
There's a strike, and that's strike 3. The 15-2 mark in the last 17 games will be the best for the Diamondbacks, dating all the way back to 2003 and tying the best 17-game mark in franchise history. Back in June 11th through the 30th of 2003, they also went 15-2. They had a 12-game winning streak in that time as well. That club finished 84-78 and played baseball in front of 2.8 million fans that year. 1-0 the count. Finished 3rd in the National League West. That's right there, and a strike to Brett Hayes. When he has been called upon, he has done good work. 10 of 28, a .357 clip. 3 doubles and a homer. Tired of waiting, he steps out and calls timeout. We'll be back with you tomorrow. We'll be back with you tomorrow night. Again, that game, 6:40. We'll be on the air at 6. That pitch is in. And that one is Anibal Sanchez against Ian Kennedy.
Should be a dandy.
First pitch of the next day, 4:40.
Can't see anybody scoring 14 runs tomorrow night.
No. The 2-1. Bouncing ball, foul ball. That first pitch at 4:40 on Wednesday. That is Daniel Hudson against Javier Vasquez. Ian with a few yawns. Sleep well tonight. His manager will sleep well tonight. The 2-2 pulled his hands in, rolls it out to Melvin Mora, who shoots it on across. The Arizona Diamondbacks are on a roll. They have won 15 of their last 17 as they open up this homestand with a 15-4 victory. All hands on deck tonight. A lot to talk about in our post-game show. Happy Memorial Day, one and all. We'll get it going right here from the ballpark right after this commercial break.